Welcome back to the Crash Space. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. It is June 6th, 2025. It's a Friday evening, or Friday afternoon, excuse me. Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome to the new Crash Space. We spent some time doing some quick branding. I think it turned out all right. We'll see if it sticks. We'll probably make some small changes to stuff, but we wanted to make this a bit different because the Netrunner branding that we kind of just cribbed made no sense. And so it's a bit its own thing now, which feels good. Joel, love the new art. Glad you like it. Hopefully you're doing well. How did the rest of the campaign go? I don't know if you ended up finishing it last night. Garrett, good afternoon, Grid. Happy One Cat Nation Day. In just 2 hours has Nanako the cat survived a week-long division of her nation into 2 neighboring states. They didn't get on well. And even today, with open borders, did the smaller cat come in and just eat all of the bigger cat's food? Why doesn't the bigger cat just eat the smaller cat? I don't get it, but that's going to be solved relatively soon, so everyone's happy. Nobody's tense. Speaking of the channel too, some small changes. I think we got the color a bit better. I've been really struggling. My hands are no longer as pink, which seems nice. This is kind of close. It's a bit slightly red, but ooh, my nails are really pink. This seems to be a bit better to what it is. On this monitor, it looks a bit worse than the monitor behind me, but we've been like struggling with this. We have windows. I have windows over there, and one of them has like this top window that doesn't have a curtain on it. So there's always like a bit of natural light and a bit of like, you know, the lights that are in the studio. So making everything look good is a bit difficult. This seems fine. I'm excited to see how this looks after, but it's just always a fight. You're never happy with what you do. Don't even worry about the webcam. I know I'm blue, but you can't fix that. So today, we're going to be diving into the first time we're going to be playing some Silk. I still haven't played the Silk Precon. We have it entirely just still sleeved up, the Precon as is. So we're probably going to be trying it out and then probably immediately deconstructing it and trying to build a Protection Web Warrior deck and try to play against some harder villains and stuff. I just want to show off this Black Panther deck because this is a deck that I've been playing off the channel. We played the Precon last Friday and I really enjoyed it. I think the one thing that's really been catching me off guard by Shuri, one second, let's see if we can pull up Shuri. The one thing that's been really getting me about Shuri Black Panther is that I assume that we would play this the same way that you play Black Panther from the core set, which your priority would to be get all of your attachments out, your upgrades, and then you fire them all the time. But that's just not how it works. In fact, you really don't need more than 1 upgrade. Sometimes 2 upgrades is good because you have some choices, but it's just not like the original Black Panther where you don't need to get all your upgrades on the table because we only have 1 Wakanda Forever. And even on a lot of board states, that Wakanda Forever is not that good. It's okay. And you can recur it, which is quite nice. So from playing this, it's played out a lot differently. I do think it plays the way that I assumed it kind of would, where you just want to pop an upgrade, destroy it, flip down. I feel like I'm constantly flipping down. I think the things that I want to shout out as being kind of sick is I talked about Queen Ramonda. Hey Nelson, how's it going? Queen Ramonda, when we were doing our unboxing last week, I was like, this is kind of whatever. It's a sort of alter ego card I was not excited about. I'm actually really excited about this card. This card turned out to be incredibly good on the basis that you were constantly flipping down and you were never blocking because you always want to have health on you, or you always want to have damage on you so you could trade the damage back by playing one of your upgrades. The Vibranium Suit, I think is what it's called. But this card was just really good. And then on the turns that you didn't use it, you had a Wakanda support so you could tap it for the elephant trunk. I think that's what it's called. This card was way better than I thought it was. Yeah, Vibranium Suit, you never want to block. Not that you have a great block stat, but you just always want to be hurt, because if you're not hurt, this doesn't do anything, and you just want to be constantly a bit injured so you can move the damage around. One thing that I don't fully understand that actually comes up with this deck is that this is technically an attack, but does this attack do damage? So if I have an ability that modifies the amount of damage a Vibranium Suit does, what does it do? Does it do additional damage? Do I move an additional damage? I don't know how to work with it. And this deck actually has cards that do additional damage, which I'll show at a second. Otherwise, that's the list. And then here is the rest of the Justice deck that I built. This is my first iteration, only small modifications, but I just want to show you what I've been working with because I've been enjoying it a lot. Firstly, we can play Justice Served. This, I actually have the comic that has this art in it, and I saw it in a panel, and I'm like, you know, pointing at the television meme. This card's really cool. I think one of my favorite things I wanted to do with Shuri is I wanted to ready myself, because Shuri's ability that when you activate, you get to do one of your Black Panther upgrades is not once per turn. So the more that you can activate yourself, or the more you can ready yourself, the more you can activate, the more that you feel like you're doing cool Shuri things. And so Justice Serve is the only Justice card that allows you to ready. And all you have to do, as much as it's 1 per player, so you want to use this, you don't want to basically, because we have 3 in the deck, you want to use this as soon as you can, because you don't want to squirrel it away for the perfect turn, because otherwise the 2nd and 3rd copies you draw are useless. So after you thwart and remove the last threat from a scheme, you can discard Justice Serve to ready your hero. And the cool thing is your basic activation can do that, your upgrade can do it, the beads, the Kimoyo beads can do it too. And so I'm constantly readying myself, and there's just so many ways, let alone in Justice, let alone in Shuri's kit, to ready yourself. I was actually really happy with 3 copies of these. It's a float like a butterfly deck, no surprise. We have a bit of Confused in our kit. and I think it's one of our better upgrades. But Float Like a Butterfly is just such a powerful card, and there's so many ways you can build around it. It says when a character you control attacks a confused enemy, increase the amount of damage that attack deals to the enemy by 1. This is obviously really important because, well, firstly, I don't know how it works with the Vibranium suit, but we have a lot of small attacks as well. So if Black Panther attacks, that does 1 damage, and then when you fire your things like your Panther Claws, that is attack traded, and so that's actually really important because that is another attack that goes up +1 damage. So this technically can do 3 extra damage or 6 damage, and that's a really cool combination if you have the Confuse. I do want to shout out, I got a correction in after our first video that T'Challa's Shadow, we did not play it correctly when we first play it. I kind of just read this wrong. I'm not sure why. I assumed it would be more interesting like this. I don't think it is. But this comes in with 4 doubt counters. This is your obligation. And then increases the resource cost of every card by 1. However, after you thwart, attack, or defend, you remove a doubt counter from this. This seems like it'll go away in 4 turns. That's not the case. And the big thing is if you attack with Shuri and then you fire one of your attack upgrades, you've technically done 2 different attacks. So this actually clears really quickly. It's super possible to clear this in a single turn. So this is a cool card for sure. And you have a lot of ways to build around it or basically make it not as bad as it sounds like it should be because you have built-in upgrades that do attacks and thwarts. Otherwise, what are we playing? We Upside the Head 3 times. I actually really like this card. I wish there was more cards like this that modify your basic attacks. Shout out to Aggression, kind of still being boring, it turns out. We've unfortunately seen a couple of the cards from the upcoming Winter Soldier deck, and the aspect cards are like just kind of really unexciting. But Upside the Head is just so good for a Confuse, for a Stun, and you have access to both of those things. We're on 2 Sonic Rifles. This is just, you know, a pretty stapled card in Justice, let alone in a Confused Justice deck. And it is a tech card, so we can actually get it and install it using Shuri's Alter Ego ability, which is nice. And we have 2 Power of Justices to install things cheaply. Allies, we're on Prof X because Confuse is good. We're on Moon Girl. I totally didn't notice the first time I played Black Panther that Black Panther is genius traded on the Alter Ego side. So Shuri is a genius, which means Moon Girl is totally fine. We do have a fair few mental icons. I think I've played this relatively well every time it's come down. And then we're playing Cypher because Cypher is just a nice little cheap guy who works well in a Confused deck, which has been good fun. Otherwise, we're playing the Dora Milaje set, so no surprise there. That was in the Precon. That's not going anywhere. It's really quite good. Okoye seems to be a bit expensive. I actually like the cheaper ones a bit more, it turns out, but the Dora Milaje support is kind of like the best thing. So even if you have 1 ally, it feels like it's good enough. I think there's a chance that you don't play with Okoye. As much as our resources are good, we do have Vibranium in our deck. That has felt a bit expensive and maybe not worth the cost. We're playing Heart of the Panther. This is a card when we played the Precon that I didn't actually hold in my hand really well, let alone I didn't prioritize getting T'Challa down. And I think you really want to get T'Challa down because this card is really quite good as the team up between T'Challa and Shuri because you can go get an upgrade, and getting an upgrade is really good. This searches your deck and discard pile, and that's super useful. We're on a superpower training to go get an upgrade, and then we're on Helicarrier. We're on Ingenuity because we are a genius. I was trying to figure out what resource generator makes sense in the deck, and none of them really do. You can play Helicarrier, I guess, but Ingenuity totally works. And we're actually really good at jumping to Alter Ego. We have a lot of reasons to do it, let alone in a Confused deck. So Ingenuity is fantastic, and then we're playing 3 resources. This deck has been pretty good. I'm running through Next Evolution on Expert, and we have not had a problem. We're on Mr. Sinister right now, and I don't think it's going to be that tough, but this is what I've been playing. If you want to crib the deck, it's been really quite fun. Get some Confused out there. We'll have Hope Summers, we don't have the best stats, but it's not bad at all. It didn't. I'm probably going to finish tonight, but Juggernaut took over an hour to get through. It was a slog. Oh no, I was just playing Juggernaut with this. You were playing Nightcrawler. I do think that's a thing that I did struggle with the Nightcrawler Precon, is that the deck just doesn't have a lot of damage, that if you're not very careful with your damage, you do struggle to keep afloat. Again, that airdrop thing for 8 damage is so important in the Nightcrawler Precon because the deck just doesn't have a lot. Unless you're, again, I think you can defend and do damage. I think Powerful Punch is in that deck. Maybe it's not. All right. We're going to play Silk. I haven't played Silk one time yet, so we're going to figure this out together. Silk is really interesting. I do think Silk scales in non-obvious ways with what you're playing against, this type and the size of the counter deck, because Silk is all about tucking cards underneath Silk, and then when you match cards with the cards tucked, that is when you start getting benefits from mostly your upgrades, as much as you have a couple events. I think the Silk Precon looks a bit weird. I don't think a lot of the payoffs seem that good. I think we're going to be surprised what Silk can do is my guess. I like a lot of the protection cards, but it is a Precon, so you end up playing 3-ofs of cards that you probably don't want to play 3-ofs in your deck. That's just how it is in Precon, so we're going to play this once. We're going to play Rhino on Expert, which might be a mistake. This might just be a Rhino on standard deck, but we'll try it out, and then if that doesn't work, we'll try and build quickly on stream. I think we shouldn't have an issue to build a Silk Precon Web Warrior synergy deck with basic and protection cards and go from there. Starting to look like I need to grab the Psylocke deck for those cool Justice cards. Psylocke actually, well, Psylocke are on its own. How's it going, by the way, Maxiel? Really cool deck, really fun, very powerful. It's a bit fiddly, but it's the sort of fiddly where it feels like you have a lot of agency, and I like kind of value that in Marvel Champions. But in terms of the cards that came in the pack, it's such a cool synergistic pack of effects. All the confused stuff is so good. Like, Float Like a Butterfly is the exact sort of card that I love to see, and I think everyone likes to see it, where it opens up whole archetypes, where now there's entire heroes that you can revisit and revalue their kit. I'm pretty sure this came from Psylocke. I'd be surprised if it didn't. And I just want to see more of that. And I think there's some frustration right now seeing some of the aggression cards. Oh man, I was hoping for really cool aggression cards in the upcoming Winter Soldier pack. And so far they're all just like, this card does 3 damage over 3 different turns. It's like, come on, make me do something cool. This is a cool card. Anyways, we'll get there, but hope you well. I didn't even feel hard. He just got so many toughness, which he luckily Retaliate took off. But yeah, it was a lot of spending resources to not die and then not have a hand for my turn. Oh, okay. So you're just trying to take the helmet off constantly. I feel like I always take the helmet off immediately when playing against Juggernaut. And then once Juggernaut is without the helmet, I just try and toe to toe as much as possible and just hope that he never schemes. I don't find Juggernaut to be that bad, but I do generally tend towards protection, and protection works well into Juggernaut because the big thing Juggernaut does is hit you. You can't just get blown out of nowhere though, for sure. Because if you get a couple encounter cards, there's one encounter card you have to play around, because if you're exhausted, especially as a Nightcrawler, if you blocked, it can just say like, oh, it attacks a minion. And if the minion is Hope Summers, well, you lose the game. So you do have to be a bit careful. I think the more often that I've run into problems with, well, not that Hope Summers, the more often that I've run into problems with Juggernaut, it's been because Hope Summers gets flatlined by a truck. Float Like a Butterfly, Psylocke 17, that sounds right. Yeah, makes sense. She's on the art. And I think a lot of the other cards that came in the set were really cool. Like you have Float Like a Butterfly, you have Cypher, you have Captain Britain. I think that's the name. I might be making this up. No, that's real. And there's just a whole set of cards that work really well with Confuse that are fun. It's a fun like Justice thing to explore. All right, let's try Silk. Hopefully everyone's well. Let me just set this up really quickly. We're going to play Rhino, if I'm not mistaken. Let's get that in there. Cool. So we're going to play Rhino, and we're going to have a choice here. Wait, where did I put Rhino? Oh, too far away. I have to stand up. Hold on. So why am I picking Rhino? Because it is a basic encounter? No, because it was Spider-Man adjacent, and I'm just playing through Sinister Motives. In fact, I have finished recording all of Sinister Motives. We'll have another video up this Monday, which will be the Sinister 6, and then finally Venom Goblin shows up on the following Monday, which, let me tell you, was that a journey. But I'm excited how things turned out, as much as good luck, genuinely good luck watching a 2.5 hour video. I'm so sorry. Talking about Juggernaut taking forever. I think the Venom Goblin fight maybe was 2.5 hours, and I don't feel great about that. This is Rhino. This is the first scenario you ever play. It's kind of boring, but it is a testing scenario. I think Claw is a better testing scenario. I think Unis is a better testing scenario. Even Ebony Maw is an interesting testing scenario. Crossbones. We're just doing this because of Spider-Man, and I want to keep the simplicity of the villain so that we can focus on our deck, which seems a bit more complicated. So this is Rhino. We're going to have the Break-In. It's only one scheme. If this advances, we lose, so watch out. And it says, when revealed, we have to go grab Break-In and Haken. Out of my way. Has 15 health. I did that right. Attacks for 3, schemes for 1, has no text. In fact, I think most of Rhino, the fact Rhino 1 has literally no text, which is not super exciting. Let's just do the main scheme first, and then we'll see what Breaking and Taking does. The Break-In, Rhino 2 and 3. We're actually not going to use all the pre-recommended ones. We're going to have a little fun here. So this is Rhino. It's mostly treacheries. There's like a couple minions. 4 minions is more than I think it is. I think it's like Shocker and another minion, and then 2 small people, but it's mostly treacheries and some attachments, and then Rhino can attack you really big. What we're going to do to keep this fun is that I have 3 encounter sets here that should hopefully be a bit more interesting than the recommended bomb scare. And these are sets that all are Spider-Man villain themed that came out in the Green Goblin set, and I actually haven't played any of these. So Chad, if you want to recommend which one of these we can play, and if not, I'll just roll a die, because I've played with 0 of these, because I'm pretty bad at like folding in what's it called, encounter sets. So I think we'll do this instead of bomb scare to make things a bit tougher. All of these are pretty symmetrical. There's one eponymous side scheme, there's one big minion, and then 3 treacheries that kind of work well. What tokens do you use for the Ready Exhaust? Great question. I wish I could get slightly more of these. These are very quite rare. They don't look like anything in particular, but they're my favorite tokens, and I have 2 sets of them. I'll show you really quickly, but there's like not much going on here. Will this focus? Yeah, it did for a second. Okay, this token, you got a set of like 8 of them. If you were in the top 8 of a net runner, national championship, I want to say in 2015 or 2016. So you had to top 8 of nationals. So I got one place out of these. The second place that was given to me, I don't even know by who at this point, because it was like nearly a decade ago. But obviously not a lot of these exist because FFG made them as additional prize support for Netrunner, so like you couldn't buy them. I have seen some people with them. I don't know if they want to part with them, but if someone has an old Netrunner collection kicking around and they don't use those tokens and you're like a very competitive Netrunner player at the time, hit me up. What a wild thing for a Netrunner promo. I know, it was good. Like they used to give out credits. Credits used to be, they had acrylic credits of different colors and sizes. People liked them. The thing is, when you went to an event, you won like 10 1 credits. You go to another event, you won like 3 5 credit tokens. And if you went to enough events and did enough, you could build this like bespoke FFG credit set. But the problem is like most people who are competing at that level who can win the credits have their own tokens that they feel strongly about. But those power counters that they were meant to be were like, wait, that's kind of cool. And so I did collect them and I liked them a lot. Garrett says Tombstone. Okay, Tombstone is by far the biggest. I think Tombstone might be the scariest, but I think that's what we're going to do, Garrett. So this is Tombstone. Yeah, 9 health, 2 scheme, 3 attack. After Tombstone attacks and damages you, discard a mental or physical resource from your hand if able. That's probably not good. All right, let's give that a shot. So this deck is also like very small. I think Bomb Scare might be also 5 or 6 cards. We can check really quickly. But like the size of the decks actually really matter. Not found. Oh, excuse me. The size of the decks feels like it has an impact on how consistent you're going to be. Yeah, this is 6 cards. Instead, this is 5 cards. Because the more of a single type of card in the deck, the more likely you can interact with it. There's also a chance we have the technology to find Tombstone on the top of the deck and remove it from the game. Oh no, that's the Justice card. That's in the Silk deck. So, or sorry, the Shuri deck. So we can't do that. That's this. We'll add Standard. Our deck is really small, so maybe we'll be consistent in finding our stuff, but that's mostly it. Breaking and Taken is our scheme. Or our side scheme. It comes in with 3 threat. It has a hazard icon. That's surprisingly scary. I don't like those, and that's mostly it. Rhino has 15 health. Does the table feel a bit dark? It feels a bit dark today. Do I need to put the brightness up? And Break-In has no text of relevance. The Break-In starts with no threat, which is something they used to do back in the day. And it says Rhino's trying to smash stuff. 7 we lose, which I'll be honest, that might have been a slightly too low for the first scenario of the game because a lot of people scheme out and then get frustrated where they don't realize that you probably shouldn't be on alter ego. All right, let's review our stuff because we're Cindy Moon and we're Silk. Let me just shuffle this up real quick and we'll start. Hey, love. Okay. That's okay. So Tina is getting picked up in just half an hour or so. Nana will be celebrating, I have no doubt. Our house will be quieter, the doors will be open, and things will be less tense. This deck feels surprisingly small. Okay. So, oh, our obligation, but of course. Yeah, things seem a bit dark. The issue I have with lighting is there's a monitor right here, and so that blocks light from this side, so this part gets a bit dark, because I have 1 light over there and 1 light over there, so this part gets a bit dark. Maybe it's okay. Let me know if it's a bit too dark. We can increase the gain. I love the Rhino encounter. It's my favorite to test new decks with. I don't like it at all. I feel like it's so one note that I'd rather test against Claw. It's more interesting. There's more minions. It just feels more varied. I feel like Rhino is a bit, again, one note. But I could see it. It's simple. So you can focus on your deck, which is what we're trying to do. And we'll just start shuffling because I don't even remember what all our cards do. So I think we're going to discover it together. Give me 1 second to shuffle this up. I will make my preview monitor bigger. I'll have a sip of coffee and we're off. Hopefully everyone's Friday is going pretty good. What's Cindy Moon do? I think she doesn't do anything unless you have cards. So you only have 4 cards tucked underneath you. We'll figure out how to set that up. And as an action, you can discard a card that's tucked to draw 2 cards. That is once per round. So you can use that. If you have 4 cards underneath you, you can always get rid of a card, of course, to get another slot. But sometimes you want to keep certain cards underneath you because, again, that's how you interact. We have 10 health, 6 hand size, 5 on the other side. No surprise. I also do change Bomb Scare because I think it's not a great encounter set. No, it's also very much learn to play encounter set. A lot of the cards have like 1 sentence of text. It's a cool theme though. Like that's a really cool theme to be like, oh, we're going against Rhino and there's a Bomb Scare in the city. Like it does paint a picture. Just want to check. We are 1-2-2, so our thwart stat is really bad. We definitely want to get rid of breaking and taking. So I'm assuming, I know we have at least, I think wall crawl is the card we have that'll allow us to take threat off breaking and taken. And that's important. This says after you defeat a minion or side scheme or resolve a treachery card, tuck the card underneath here. I think tucking breaking and taken will be good because that means we already have a Rhino card underneath us. And that means we'll have cards that interact when attacking Rhino or defending Rhino, which seems good. Cool. All right, just give me 1 second to set things up. We'll get an exhaustion counter. We'll build the preview monitor, windowed projector. Yeah, maybe it is a bit dark. Maybe. We'll bring up Cerebro. Good luck, have fun. All right, we can put this aside, have that sip of coffee, and we're good to go. Okay, so our mulligan, what are we prioritizing? Honestly, don't know. It's our first playthrough. We'll figure it out. So we have Not Today. This is a block card. This is a reprint. So I do know about this card. This is the other art. We don't want to keep this because obviously we're going to go straight into the villain phase. So who cares? 2 more cards. Ready for a Fight and Spider Reflexes. So one of these is a setup card. One of them we have more in our deck, not you. This card is such a cool idea of card. Really, really cool. This is the sort of cards that I think builds entire new play styles, kind of like float like a butterfly. So max 1 per player, we need a physical to play it. And it says when an enemy would scheme, change the hero form and the enemy attacks you, we can still block, which is really good. This means we can jump down to Alter Ego whenever we want, functionally with no risk. And especially with Silk's ability or Cindy's ability, Alter Ego seems kind of nice. I don't think we have any Alter Ego other payouts, but it's a thing to keep in mind. We have 3 in the deck. Might not be the most important thing to get on the table because we're going to be in hero mode real quick, but very, very cool card. We have 3 in our deck though, so I'm not too stressed about it. Spider Reflexes. This is really good to get early because this means we block better. When Silk defends, exhausts this. For the attack, she gets +1 defense for each card tucked underneath here from the same encounter set. After this attack, the top card of the encounter deck discard pile under Silk. So I'm assuming if you get multiple boost cards, you can choose which boost card, because I don't know the order that the boost cards enter the discard pile, but that means we can always make sure we get a Rhino card underneath us, and the deck is predominantly Rhino cards. This is really good. Rhino attacks a lot. We already have 3 defense. We'll have 4 defense once we clear breaking and taken. We're 100% going to keep this. Genius. Great. Good combo. Organic webbing. I don't believe that Silk has any resource generators. All the other web heroes usually have like web shooters, but we don't, in fact, because Silk makes the web organically. This gives Silk's +1 thwart, so 2 thwarts not bad in solo, and we can exhaust organic webbing and discard a card tucked under Silk to ready Silk. She gains Aerial. We're not going to care about Aerial, none of our cards are, but this is definitely a great card because it's a ready. Ready when you're playing a block deck is pretty fine, so we're definitely going to keep that. We have 2 good setup cards here, so we're going to have 3 more cards. We'll see what we set up. Energy Shield, cool card. Probably not going to use this. We can attach to something and spend resources to prevent damage. Fine. And then that's it. So we'll get rid of these 3. Draw 3 more. Stun gun? I mean, probably not. That's a neat idea. I don't think we're too... Actually, this might be okay if Tombstone shows up, because we can't defeat Tombstone. And so stunning Tombstone for 2 turns might be okay. Scarlet Spider. This is the one that takes damage. So we don't take damage. We're not going to play that on turn 1. And we have a swinging Silk kick. Okay, biggest issue is that we cannot do any thwart. So without thwart, we can't clear breaking and taken. And if we can't clear breaking and taken, we can't get the card underneath us, and we're going to draw another hazard icon. So we totally failed to get our thwart up to 3. That's not good. Let's see what we can do with this. Okay. Not played this, but I'm going to believe that the thwart is short for thwart because Spidey, how's it going, Mango? I remember when I first saw these cards, I thought the text was so silly that scheme was sure just felt really weird. And I think you're right when it comes to heroes, it's even weirder. Like what's thwa? It just didn't line up really well. And for what it's worth, I spent more time playing this game than talking about it, at least classically before this channel started. So a lot of times I'll just say the wrong word. I'll say they threat for 3 or the villain schemes or the hero schemes. Like, I don't care. How you doing, Mango? Okay, so unfortunately breaking and taking lives. The only way it doesn't live is if we play Scarlet Spider, but Scarlet Spider is a really bad exchange of resources. That is 3 for 1 thwart, taking 2 consequential. That's but. So I think we're most likely just to set up and take the worst part of that and take 2 encounter cards. So if we can Genius for our better block card, that's good. And then we probably just do, I don't know, 2 for organic webbing. Whatever card we can keep. I don't think we're going to keep the Silk Kick. I don't think it does anything. We have 3 of them in the deck. I think we actually have a lot of these, and that's the only way we can like one-shot Tombstone. This does a lot of damage, mind you. It does like up to 9 damage, which, you know, There's more than half of Rhino's health on side 2. So let's just make sure we're not missing anything, because again, we haven't played this so far. So Cindy Moon doesn't have any ability, so we're going to just flip up. Silk just says, after you defeat a minion or side scheme or resolve a treachery, tuck it underneath here from the counter discard pile. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do any of those things. So we will play Spider Reflexes. This comes into play. Gives us +1 defense, sort of, sometimes, not this turn. And we get +1 defense for each card underneath us. So we're still going to defend with this and exhaust it, because that means after the attack, we'll get a card tucked underneath us. This is the only one that goes like card positive, just using basic activations, which is kind of cool. Then we'll play Organic Webbing for 2. Similar idea. Unfortunately, we were missing so much value here. If we could have cleared Breaking and Taking, we could have put it underneath Organic Webbing. If we had it underneath Organic Webbing, we could have readied ourselves and we could have done a lot of cool stuff, but not exactly here. So we have +1 Thwart. That is not contingent on what's underneath or if there's anything underneath. So 2 Thwart's already an okay start. I think we're just going to head and Thwart for 2, dropping that to 1. And now it says that we can discard a card tucked underneath Silk, which is not an option, and so we'll just pass. We can ready this, yeah, to ready her. Or exhaust it to ready her. We'll draw 5. There's the second ready for a fight, third ready for a fight. Stop hitting yourself. If we block and take no damage, we can do damage back. That's very expensive. Energy Shield. This feels like a Precon hand and Investigative Journalism. Perfect Precon hand. This hand does nothing, so we're very, very likely to play Stop Hitting Yourself and then just play a ready for a fight and maybe just jump down so we get 1 more hand size. It doesn't look great. Rhino goes to 1. Rhino's attacking for 3 and a card. I think we'll block here. And so we're going to do Spider Reflexes and just see what this says. Oh no, I hit Spider way too soon. So Spider Reflexes says, when Silk defends, she gets +1 defense for each card tucked underneath, so we're blocking for 3. After this attack, tuck the top card in counter deck underneath Silk, so it doesn't matter if we take no damage or we take damage. So Rhino's attacking for 3. 2 boost icons on drawing near, so that's 5 damage. We block for 3, so we take 2. And then we tuck this underneath here, underneath Silk, which gives us a standard 3 encounter card. So that's okay. 2 encounter cards. We could die on turn 1. It's like within the realm of possibility. All right, this is new. This is from the set that we just added. This is media coverage. This says attach your identity card. Resolve each when revealed ability that you reveal an additional time. Yo, alter ego spend a mental to discard this card. We have a wild, so we can do that, but that's a good reason to flip down. That is a wild card. Exhaustion. Oh, that's a bad combo. So luckily we're exhausted, but when revealed, exhaust your identity. Okay, so that happens twice. I thought this was the other one where we draw 2 cards. Oh, hey, Nanako the cat. So we're going to be drawing 1 card off Surge. Hard to keep down. When revealed, Rhino heals 4 damage. If no damage was healed this way, this card gates Surge. So we Surge twice. Tombstone set us brutal. Gary, set us up. So wait, this card gains Surge? That's part of the when revealed. Fuck. Armored Rhino suit, that's fine. So attach a Rhino. When any amount of damage would be dealt to Rhino, place it here instead. If there's at least 5, discard this. 1 more card. Stampede. Oh, we're so dead. We're so dead to this media coverage. What are we doing? Stampede says the Rhino attacks you if a character is damaged by this, the character's stunned, so we get attacked twice. It's very likely we die here. Oh my god, media coverage is messed up. With Surge, it's messed up. So Rhino's attacking for 3 and a card. Boost. Place 1 counter here. That's Dark Design, so we take 3 damage. Rhino attacks again. 3 and a card. No boost. Alright, not even close. We're stunned, by the way. Ah, good old turn 1. We're exhausted. We can't deal with breaking and taking. We're doing pretty good here. Drawing near discards the top of our deck. It's a swinging web kick. This goes to 2. Don't forget Silk's hero ability. Oh, does that work, Poetic? Wait, hold on. That's a good question, though. So what does Silk actually do? After you defeat a minion or side scheme or resolve a treachery card, or resolve a treachery card. Oh, good catch. Can you be stunned twice? No, unless you're steady. So after we resolve a treachery, we can tuck things. That's huge because we can tuck this to draw. Actually, this is not that bad. So we'll tuck. Expert is like kind of weak to tuck because we don't want it, but we'll tuck 1. That was not a boost. We'll tuck 2. We'll tuck 3. That's it. Wait, that's sick. Wait, we have 4 cards underneath us. We have standard, Rhino, Rhino. This is going to be hard to track. My eyes are not that good. Yeah, so if you're steady, you can be stunned twice, but if you're not steady, you can only take 1 stun token. They don't stack. Nanako is listening. It sounds like someone has just showed up to take away Tina. Okay, that's good, though, because we can flip down and discard to draw cards, so we can set up. We need an ally to deal with breaking and taken is my guess, but we actually can get out of this. I need to move the microphone to a better place. Is this still... This is probably still fine. Okay, not much to do on this side. We'll flip down. I will go ahead and get rid of media coverage by getting rid of our investigative journalism. Wait, let's first discard a card underneath us. So we'll do Cindy Moon first to get more options. So Cindy Moon says, discard a card tucked here to draw 2 cards. This is interesting because we have standard, 2 rhinos, and a standard. So I'll get rid of a standard card and draw 2. We have an energy, that's nice, and a spider bite. That's perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to clear breaking and taken. So we can do that. The issue is that we won't be clearing it. Our ally will be clearing it, so we can't tuck it, let alone, well, we're in alter ego. Okay, so now we have to spend a mental. I'll just spend investigative journalism to get rid of media coverage. So spend a mental, get rid of this. That's a cool card. Genuinely very cool card. Oh, we could have readied ourselves. Hold on. No, we'll ready ourselves. Okay, we're learning. So before we jump down, we will do this organic webbing. So we'll discard a card underneath us. We'll get rid of a rhino card. So then we're ready. We're going to not use the ready to thwart. We're going to do the ready to recover because I think we need to. But she gains the aerial trait. Yeah, so we had to do that on the hero mode. Important. Okay, so we have 2 cards underneath us, Rhino and Standard. Having more Rhino cards means we block better, so we can toe-to-toe Rhino. I think here we're just going to do... If we play Energy Shield, we actually basically... This is the weird thing. If we play Energy Shield on ourselves, we spend a resource, right? But then this card is on us, which means Spider Bite is just cheaper, right? It's basically spending a resource but making it permanent. Because this is for each tech card you control. So I guess we will just give ourselves an Energy Shield. Energy Shield says that when attached character would take any amount of damage, we can spend X mental resources to prevent... Sorry, energy resources to prevent X of that damage. It's optional, so you don't have to do it. Unfortunately, we have no way of getting rid of... Drawing near. Hold on. Wait, what did we do? We should have had another card underneath us because we got rid of 2 of them. So we could have tucked 1 more. Yeah, I guess we'll just tuck standard. Sorry, that's a mess. Because we could have tucked up to 4. This was not a tucked card. If I didn't do it wrong. All right, so that means for 2, we'll play Spider Bite. Spider Bite will come in and exhaust the thwart for 2. So we're going to lose some thwarting. And that will clear breaking and taken. We can't tuck it because that's on our other side. Then with this hand, I think we'll just play ready for action for ready for action. I don't think we're going to use the ready for action. I think we might actually just stay down for 1 turn. Because I think we're okay with Rhino scheming for 1 in a card. We've seen 1 of the cards... Did I not do it? Yeah, we've seen 1 of the cards that makes Rhino scheme again. We have it underneath us. So I'm not too worried about Rhino scheming twice. So I don't think we're going to use this card. I think we'll just keep it as a panic. We can recover for 3 and we'll throw out Stop Hitting Yourself. The card's not updating. I wonder if the names are too similar that it doesn't update. Yeah, it looks like that's the case. Okay. We can't get rid of this. We'll draw it. So far, this has been interesting. Wall crawl, that's what we wanted. Don't you need to be up for organic webbing? Yeah, we were meant to do it before we flip down. So that's the order I did wrong. We technically got ourselves a bit of advantage because we saw the 2 cards that we drew off of our ability, but we were meant to do that in hero mode before we flip down 100%. I'm just retconning it because it was strictly correct. We don't need 4 cards underneath us. We have enough cards, but that means this turn we can recover, draw 2. Wall crawl's really good. This is what we wanted on turn 1. I think we have 2 of them in the deck, so it wasn't super consistent, but this removes threat, and we're definitely going to be adding threat. We have the stun gun. We have Not Today, which if we block and take no damage. We have Spider Claws. This one is basically the same as Spider Reflexes, but it gives us +1 attack and gives us piercing based off of how many cards we have the trait. And then we have another Energy Shield. So this goes to 2. We do have Silk cards, so we can get rid of Drawing Nearer, which we're very close for our Nemesis, and I don't think we want our Nemesis. It seems bad, but we're kind of on the fast track. So Rhino's going to scheme for 1 in a card. If we wanted to, we could jump up for Ready for a Fight. And with Ready for a Fight, we could go ahead and block already with Not Today, but I think we're okay just taking the scheme here. 1, 2, running interference, the eponymous card. So this goes to 4. Now we have to hope this is not a Dark Science. Enhanced Ivory Horn. All right. I hope you have a lot of physicals. That's only +1 attack. That's hard to remove, and +1 attack is honestly not that bad. So this is, we'll probably just allow it to stay on the table. The weird thing about Silk's text is I don't think Silk cares about attachments, right? Silk is minion side scheme or resolve a treachery. I wonder why, if it doesn't say obligation, or why it doesn't say attachment. I think removing the attachment's like kind of a neat thing to do. For some reason, I thought you were an alter ego at the start of your turn for the 20 encounter cards you do. Yeah, we flipped down immediately. We like panicked and ran away. All right, Pursued by the Past gets rid of our eidetic memory. This is one of the coolest cards in the kit. It's a shame that we're not going to have it. And now it's back to us. So Spider Bite, we actually could keep that for a panic block. There's a couple encounter cards that just says Rhino activates, and playing protection, that's sometimes a rough thing that can just happen. We can get rid of Wall Crawl here. Spider Claws is our damage. But we need to get rid of a unique card from our hand, or not a unique card, but a Silk card. I think we're going to get rid of Standard 3 and draw 2 cards using Cindy Moon's ability. J. Jonah and Not Today. Okay. J. Jonah seems expensive. Exhaust this card, remove 2 threat from a side scheme. That doesn't do anything. Alter Ego action, exhaust this card, search your deck and discard power for Get the Scoop and put into play. I remember thinking Get the Scoop was incredibly underwhelming. This comes into play. And you can just thwart on it. It's just a side scheme, but you can also Alter Ego to exhaust this to remove 2 threat from this, which is whatever. And when defeated, the Cindy Moon player looks at the top 2 cards of the encounter deck and tucks one of those cards under the identity. So in theory, actually, if we grab Tombstone, we can just hold on to Tombstone. The problem is it's like, look at 2 cards out of probably 20. So not the best odds, but it's okay. Nanako is like so paying attention because somebody's being captured here and she's happy. I think we're just gonna get rid of J. Jonah Jameson. I think with our hand we can set up with Spider Claws, we can play Wall Crawl. We could in theory put an energy barrier on Spider Bite just to allow Spider Bite to thwart and not take Retaliate for 1 turn. We'll probably just play the Stun Gun because I think that will be a useful card in a pinch. So I'll throw out J. Jonah to get rid of Drawing Near. We just need to throw out a unique card or identity specific card to get rid of this. We're 1 away from drawing our encounter set, so it's gonna happen. Our Nemesis will show up. Will we recover for 3? I think we will. Thwarting for 2 is not super necessary, so we will recover 3. So we're up to 8. And we'll flip up. On this side, we'll do Wall Crawl, pitching Not Today. I don't even know what the text of this does. It says remove 2 threat from a scheme. Okay. Choose a scheme. You may discard a card tucked under Silk from the same encounter set to remove 3 threat from the chosen scheme. So you can split this or do the same. We, in theory, could get rid of Hard to Keep Down, but Hard to Keep Down currently is giving us +1 defense, so I don't think we care about 2 threat on there, especially with 1 Dark Design already out. All right, so we can just put Stun Gun on the table and then not use Spider Bite. That's probably fine. We can Energy Shield on Spider Bite just for the fun of it to give us flexibility, or we can play Spider Claws. This card says that when we attack, we get +1 attack for each card tucked underneath from the same encounter set as attacked enemy. I'm assuming we're going to need to do that because actually maybe we can get by with just our kicks. But currently we have Rhino cards tucked underneath us, and that's most likely, so we'll be doing more and more damage to Rhino. We don't have the resources to get rid of the Horn, that's for sure. So it's either the gun or the claws. I'm going to go for the claws. 1, 2. And to get this out of rotation, I'll just attach it to Spider Bite. All right, we could ready with Organic Webbing. I don't think it's worth it. I'd rather have a card underneath because of our other synergy points. I think I'll do it like this, and then we'll pass. 1, 2. Okay, more threat. Dr. Sinclair for recovery. Across the Spider-Verse. That allows us to grab a Web Warrior from our bin. We haven't found Peter yet. And then there's Albert Moon, who allows us to tuck the top card of the counter deck under Cindy Moon. Alter Ego. Nice. This goes to 3. Rhino is now attacking for 4 and a card. 4 and a card. We're blocking for 4. We don't have any defense events in our hand that will make our defense better. But no matter what, if we're going to block, we're going to use Spider Reflexes because it just goes up cards. So when Silk defends, exhaust reflexes for the success attack. She gets +1 defense for each card tucked underneath her. So when Silk defends, so we'll block for 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's it. We can always spend energy. And this is a cool card, actually, in theory, if you have enough resource generators, especially the ones that generate energy or wild, is that if you're playing a perfect block deck, you can just like spend extra resources to ensure your perfect block fires. Is that better than Energy Barrier? Probably not, but it scales infinitely in theory. So that's for 4. We're blocking for 4. 2 boost icons, Silk Sense Overload. So that is our obligation. We're just going to take 2. And then we're going to tuck this underneath us, which is not good because it actually doesn't have, it is a silk card, right? So it is from the silk trait. And if I'm not even mistaken, Silk Sense Overload. So I need to check this. This is a silk card. So all our cards interact with silk cards. They won't have, excuse me. All our cards interact with things from the same encounter set. And I think this is the only card in the entire game from the silk set. Because I think our Nemesis set doesn't even say silk. I think it says something else. It says Silk Nemesis. So it's actually from a legally distinct set. Okay, so it was 6. We took 4. We took 2. That's it. Encounter card. Donovan, I'm doing well. How's Silk been? This is our first game, so honestly, I have no idea. We've had a really bad turn 1 where we drew like 5 encounter cards. We're playing on Expert with the Precon, so I'm assuming the Precon's not going to be good, but Silk's looked interesting. Way more interesting than I thought. All right, we've drawn more Expert cards. Master Plan. Place 4 threat on the side scheme. Otherwise, discard cards until you find one. And luckily, we do have... Oh, we can tuck... No, we can tuck this. We can rip cards until a side scheme. We have a wall crawl, so we should be able to get rid of a side scheme. Oh, well, there goes the whole deck. Crowd control. I think I'm forgetting that Silk's ability allows us to grab treacheries, which seems really generous. So this is crowd control. This comes in with 2 threat. It just has a bunch of flavor on it. It has a crisis icon. This is the first time you experience a crisis icon. And if Silk, if I'm not mistaken, says, after you defeat a minion or side scheme or resolve a treachery, tuck that card underneath. So now we have Expert, Rhino, and Silk. We are exhausted. We are stunned. And that's back to us. Wall crawl works perfectly. Sort of. Yeah, wall crawl works perfectly here. That's actually really cool. We can also use the card. Like, this is why this Ready for a Fight's so good, is we can jump down to Alter Ego, no problem. Draw cards, set up, and then as soon as we get a schemed on, we just jump up and block. That's really cool. So we'll play wall crawl here. So it says remove 2 threat from a scheme. We have to pay 1 for this, excuse me. So we'll pay probably across the Spider-Verse. Am I playing Dr. Sinclair? Probably not. No, I'm stunned. We probably could consider it. So play across the Spider-Verse to play wall crawl. It says remove 2 threat from a scheme. So remove 2 threat from cloud control. We can tuck that underneath here. And then it says, you may discard a card tucked under Silk from the same encounter set as the chosen scheme to remove 3 threat from the chosen scheme. So we'll choose Break-In, and then we'll remove a Rhino card. I'd rather draw this. And then we clear 3 from this. Very flexible. Very flexible. Then I will do Organic Webbing to ready Silk. We have to discard a card. We'll get rid of the Silk card. So now we can recover if we want. We also can attack to get rid of the stun. But I think we're going to get rid of Dr. Sinclair. Then we'll hop down. We'll use Cindy Moon's Alter Ego ability. Doesn't have a name, bummer. And we'll discard Master Plan to draw 2. We get Smooth as Silk and Stop Hitting Yourself. Smooth as Silk is a hero action, so it's not super useful. We will Strength for Dr. Sinclair. So maybe we could have attacked, actually. So it says, exhaust Dr. Sinclair and spend a mental resource. Oh, our mental resource is Albert. I'd rather play Albert, I think. So I don't think we're going to do this right now. And then we can recover and discard a status token, which is not bad at all. But I think I want to play Albert because Albert, we can fire twice. So we'll pay 2 and we'll not fire Dr. Sinclair and we'll play Albert. Albert Moon, we can exhaust to tuck the top card of the counter deck under Cindy Moon. So we can just grab the card back or heal 1 damage from Cindy Moon for each card tucked underneath her. Neat. So we'll just go ahead and tack Master Plan back. I think we'd rather not have the expert set. So the order of the cards that we got rid of, we could have actually been a bit... We could have like got rid of crowd control last. But I think we needed crowd control because there's our Rhino card. So the order of which we release cards really matters now with Albert Moon because we can grab the top card of the deck. I guess we'll recover for 3. And we'll pass. I think we don't actually have to flip up with Ready for a Fight because we're not really stressed about threat. I think 1 Dark Designs is out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brendan, how's it going? Are you on strike? Spider-Man, Madame Web, Stop Hitting Yourself, Outwit. This is the one that gives us plus for thwarting, which is cool. Stun guns, whatever. Spider-Man's really good, and we need to value getting this on the table. Oh man, it's so hard to find Spider-Man because there's 1,700 different Spider-Man that are all attached the same way. Oh, this sucks. I should just search Peter Parker. Anyways, We have to play one of each kind of resource for this deck. For this, we do have one of each resource to play it, which is not bad, especially because we can draw cards, but a very powerful effect that allows us to ready. And we want this on the table because we have our team up. The top card is in counter deck, not discard pile formed. Wait, oh, did we do Albert Moon wrong? Albert Moon says, tuck the top card in counter deck. You're right. Okay, so we get a random card. That actually might be better. Evil Alliance. Yeah, I'm glad that we don't draw that boost icon. Okay, so it doesn't matter because I don't think we interact with the deck, the discard pile, unless it's straight off. Really good catch. No strike, just lazy. I mean, it's Friday, Brennan. I do your best. Oh, we have a 6 card, excuse me. Smooth as silk, okay. So this goes to 1. Rhino scheming for 1 in a card. We could hop up with ready for a fight, but I don't think we want to. I think we're okay with some threat here. So we get 1 boost icon on Stampede. So this goes to 3. Single encounter card. Nowhere safe. So we're just going to go get our Nemesis and see what that looks like. Place 1 pursuit counter, and then because it hits 4, we go get our Nemesis. So let's see what Moreland's up to. So an Inheritor. It's Moreland. I haven't played against the Inheritor set, and I definitely should, because it seems really interesting, but really tough, especially if you're playing Web Warriors. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah. This goes to 5. Moreland gets +1 scheme and +1 attack for each encounter card tucked under each identity. So actually attacking for 2 and for 2. When defeated, discard each copy of Hunting the Spider Bite tucked under each identity. Okay. Side scheme is the Great Hunt. When revealed, comes with 2 threat. There you are, the spinner at the center of the web. It's time. The Great Hunt begins. When revealed, place 1 additional threat here for each card tucked under each identity. So that's 4. And then we have to shuffle into the deck 3 copies of these Hunting for the Spider Bride. When they show up, I think they force you to tuck it underneath you. There's 3 of these. And they all say the same thing. It'll be shuffled into a narrow deck. Surge, when you're revealed, if you have 4 cards tucked underneath your identity, discard a card and tuck this. Otherwise, after a player card effect discards this card from under an identity, the identity takes 2 damage. That's really bad. So we're going to end up with these underneath us. And that means we just have like 6 damage floating. As much as we can control when to release them, the problem is if we don't release them, we can only tuck 1 card underneath us functionally, which means all their abilities don't work. That's rough. That seems really rough. Okay, we've done no damage to Rhino. We have to clear this. And we're ready. That's it. Okay. What do we do? I don't know what Smooth as Silk does. Smooth as Silk says, choose an enemy or scheme in play. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a card from the same encounter set is chosen as discarded. Tuck that card underneath. I don't think we want to do that. We have enough cards probably underneath us. We don't have the attack. Oh, we do have the attack booster. So we can attack for like... That doesn't work. We have Outwit for more thwart. We don't have a swinging web kick. I think we definitely want to play Spider-Man. That'll be quite nice. Albert Moon is still ready. I think Sinclair to get rid of the toughness, or sorry, to get rid of the stun probably makes sense because we're going to have to attack this round. But this is an awkward hand. Okay, I don't think we're going to play Madame Web, so I'm going to use Madame Web. Actually, first, let's get rid of Standard 3 to draw 2 cards with Cindy Moon. We get, that's the encounter deck, sorry. As far as I know, which admittedly isn't a lot, Canada Post and the Union have until Wednesday to hash out a deal. They haven't been able to come to an agreement on the past 5 years. This is fine. Oh wait, this decks us out. Hopefully Predator works out. Yeah, this is fine. If we deck out, these cards won't be in rotation. I don't think these cards being in rotation matter that much, but actually then before we do that, I am going to throw out Madame Web so we have another ally in rotation, and we'll use Dr. Sinclair. Dr. Sinclair says, exhaust Dr. Sinclair, spend a mental resource, heal damage from your to equal to your recover, so we heal 1, and then we can get rid of the stun. And then we'll discard a card to draw 2. So we draw our side scheme, and we draw a silk kick, which is perfect for Moreland. So then we get a card. And if you defeat Moreland, you get to discard all the copies of Hunting the Spider Bride tucked underneath you, which can just be a lot of damage. It can be like 6 damage if they're all underneath you. Okay. We're at full health. We're ready. We have 1 card underneath us. Will Albert Moon? I need to be careful reading the text of this cards. Tuck the top card of the encounter deck underneath Cindy Moon. So we're getting a Sinister Strike. That's good to know. So we have Standard and Rhino. I think we'll flip up. Oh, we could have done something with Spider Bite. We probably should have to get Spider Bite back in the deck. Actually, yeah, I think we should have thwarted with Spider Bite first because Spider Bite back in the deck is really good. So do we have thwart? Yeah, I'm gonna, before we shuffle our deck, Spider Bite will thwart for 2 into this. And then we'll be discarded. So we shuffle Spider Bite and Energy Shield. I don't think we keep her around. 2 thwart we can deal with. That's good. We can ready, and then we'll just kick Moreland real hard. I don't think we're going to get the kicker on the kick because the kick's kicker requires you to have Nemesis cards, of which we actually could by clearing the Great Hunt. Wait. This is cool. Hold on. Okay. This kind of like, okay, so this engine with organic webbing, real talk, makes me feel like Cable. Because if we thwart for 2, clearing the Great Hunt, we tuck the Great Hunt underneath us, and then we can just release the Great Hunt to ready ourselves. So you kind of feel Cable-esque, because anytime you tuck a card, it's worth a ready. That's kind of neat. That being said, I think we're going to figure out what the text on Swinging Silk Kick is in a second. So we want to play Spider-Man. That will leave us with not enough resources to play Swinging Web Silk Kick. So this costs 3. Spider-Man costs 3. So we can't do both. So Swinging Silk Kick. Deal 7 damage, discard a tucked card, which we have it to deal 2 additional damage and overkill. That damage will end up on the Rhino Soup. That's fine. My buddy's going to teach me champions this Monday. Don't know who to play as yet. What do you mean teach me? You don't know, Brett? Wait, Brett, I thought you played. Who to play as yet? How complicated do you want things to be? Like, do you want to be like my first card game? Or do you want to be like, yeah, I play Netrunner a bit. I play Hyobu. Also, what cards do you have? That also makes a big difference. So I want to get Spider-Man down because we do have the team up, and the team up probably is fine. Maybe it just recovers. I don't know what the team up does. What does the team up even do? Investigative journalism. When an enemy would scheme, cancel that activation and confuse that enemy. I mean, that's fine. That's not bad. I think we'll just hold on to Spider-Man and not play it this round. I think we can play another cards from our hand to set up. So we'll definitely do Swinging Silk Kick. I won't do Smooth the Silk. We won't play Stop Hitting Yourself. We won't play the Stun Gun. Swinging Silk Kick. So we'll do 7 damage to an enemy. You may discard a card tucked under Silk from the same encounter set. Luckily, we have another Nemesis card. If you do this, attack deals 9 damage and gains overkill. So we're going to do 9 into Moreland. Moreland's text says, when defeated, discard each copy of Hunting the Spider Bride tucked underneath each identity. We don't have that. So we do 5 to Moreland, which ends up with 4 on the Rhino suit, because that is damage. Cool. Actually, wait, we can tuck Moreland. Wait, you're ours now. Wait, the Silk is cool. I think I've underestimated how cool it is just to take cards, because this is not a once per turn response. After you defeat a minion and resolve a treachery, tuck that card underneath here from the counter discard pile. You're mine now. Shout out to Yobu. A base Green Goblin and Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel should not be your first. Miss Marvel is tricky. Even like experienced players have a hard time with Miss Marvel because it forces you to play the game differently. You're all event related. You have to do management of your events because you replay them. It's very hard. I think you want to play the core set and have a great time. Spider-Man is good as long as you're not playing solo. It's hard to solo Spider-Man. Captain Marvel is just like gas. Who else is in the core set? I actually really like She-Hulk. She-Hulk has some really bad cards. I'm not going to tell you which ones they are. You'll figure it out. But playing She-Hulk is really fun. Like, She-Hulk's text is really good. Who else is in the core set? Black Panther is like kind of whatever. And then Iron Man is also very fun if you like a building deck. So if you're the kind of player who wants to be like put everything on the board and build for a late game where you feel very powerful, Iron Man really does that, where you start feeling terrible and then at the end you feel really powerful. It's really good if you play 2 players because then somebody else can do something in the early game. Hey, Orly, just started recently on TTS after seeing your feature this game on stream. It's been fun. From the core set, I enjoyed Iron Man the most. It feels fun to build up the suit. Yeah, there you go. And pop up after. You start with like 2 hand size. You feel terrible. You're just the man facing off against Rhino. But then once you're in the late game and you have the suit, it feels really, really good. I do think they really nailed the sort of like idea of putting your suit together and each piece makes you more powerful. I like it a lot. For some reason, FFG likes to give the core set 5 decks and only make it 4 players. I'm looking at you, Arkham. I mean, it gives you choices. You can't really build 5 coherent decks at the same time. But this game, I would not play it at 4 players, I don't think. I haven't done it, but it feels like it would take too long, let alone 5 players. Seems like a nightmare. I mean, I don't want to play Outwit. I don't think we need Outwit. Like, I don't think Threat is a problem in this scenario. So instead, I'm going to play Get the Scoop just so it's an option on the table. I also don't like this card, but if it allows us to grab our friend, what's it called? To grab Tombstone and we don't have to read his text, that might be good. So this comes in with 4 threat. And Alter Ego, we can remove 2 threat, exhausting your identity. Not great. When defeated, the Cindy Moon looks at the top 2 cards in counter deck, tucks one of those cards under your identity. Okay. So we can ready ourselves, which means we can thwart for 2 again, which is kind of cool. And then we can work on this. I'm going to hold on to Spider-Man. I'm going to throw out Outwit, but I want to play Spider-Man next turn. And then we're just going to ready ourselves. I don't think we need a standard card underneath this. So we'll ready ourselves using Organic Webbing. And then either we can attack for 3 or we can thwart for 2. I'm going to thwart for 2. We'll pass. Spider Bites back. Genius. Stun Gun. Another Energy Shield. Precon. Oh, I'm so used to flipping the top of the deck because I play Magic. So every time I draw my hand, I look at the top of the deck, which that's a bad habit, it turns out. All right. I've been playing so much Magic. We did wrap the series, and I'm very excited with how it turned out, as much as it does become a bit of an epic. Too bad about the multiplayer. I'd love to see a collab with some of the Marvel Champ creators from the multiplayer fun. Yeah, I think I would too. I think like 2-player though is probably my sweet spot, especially because you can build more specialized decks where it's like, oh, I'm actually really excited to play what's her name, Valkyrie, when the other player can deal with all the thwarting. Like that is really cool. Like, I'd love to see a deck where it's like, oh, you're playing the Raft and you're playing Justice and getting minions out, and then you're knocking them down by playing Thor or whatever. Like I do think 2-player is like the sweet spot, even like 2-handed, but like 4 players, that probably takes forever. And the numbers just get so big. It's like, oh, this thing has 100 health. I'm like, I guess I'll attack for 6 and feel good about it. I don't know. I feel like big numbers just makes my individual turns feel less important. Love the idea of a billionaire getting dressed while the world burns, but very slowly getting dressed too. This goes to 2. Again, if we get thwarted on, we don't care anymore because we can just get attacked again, as much as that could be dangerous with no allies. We do have Energy Shield in the Panic. And so Rhino's going to attack for 4 in a card. We'll check. We're definitely going to block because that's kind of what we're all about. Do we have any block cards in hand? No. So we're blocking for, well, we'll block with Spider Reflexes. So we're blocking for 4 because we have 1 Rhino card. We're being attacked for 5. Hunting the Spider Bride. Oh, funny. So this is a boost card? So this says, force response after player card effect discards this card from under an identity. Okay, so this is only a boost. So we're taking 1 damage, that's for sure. But is the effect on Spider Reflexes mandatory? Because now this goes into the bin, and then it says, after this attack, tuck the top card of the counter deck under Silk. It's not an option. Wait, so we have to take this garbage? Because this thing hurts us. We literally have to take it. Ew. I don't like that. That sucks. Not happy. Okay, thanks, Silk. Great. 4-player Marvel is fine. It's definitely more of a just you want to play a card game with friends, but you don't really want to play a card game with your friends. Though 4-player Web Warrior seems like chaos. Yeah, I think if you play like a 4-player synergistic pile like Web Warriors or like X-Men, someone's playing Storm, like maybe that could be cool. Someone's playing Cyclops and they're sending the troops out. I just think it's like the amount of time versus the amount of agency you have in your own turn probably doesn't line up well. I played 3 players and I was like kind of pushing it already, but it's a good excuse to hang out with friends, that's for sure. Oh, he's here. Tombstone. 9 health. That's massive. I think this might be one of the highest health minions in the early parts of the game. I would really like if these die showed up with 7 to 12 instead of having 54 health. After Tombstone attacks and damages you, discard a mental or physical resource from your hand if able. We do not have a swinging web kick, so we're probably just going to let Tombstone scheme is my guess for a turn, because that is bad text. Search. I can't believe we have to take it. So, when revealed, if you have 4 cards tucked underneath your identity, discard one of those. Otherwise, tuck this card under your identity. Cool. Search. Charge. That charge is pretty bad. This is a frightening card. This is how you lose when you play your first games. Attached to Rhino. When Rhino attacks, it gets overkill and +3 attack. There's no way of getting rid of this. So the best thing you can do is toughness or blocking pretty hard. But Rhino's now going to attack us for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not a good thing for us. So we have to take a 7. So we're going to be blocking for... And now all our stuff is gummed up. You have to tuck it regardless. Yeah, exactly. It's like technically worded, so you'll tuck it no matter what. Otherwise was an Andre flourish. But yeah, no matter what you're tucking it. Either if you're full or you're not full. So That is, I guess, worth shouting out. You just will always get this. Okay, that sucks. What can we do here? We have our stun gun for Tombstone if we want to just like kick the can down the road, and I think that might be fine. Currently, we have only one tech card, so Spider Bite costs us our Genius. We do not have enough resources. We've been holding on to the Spider-Man. I think we're going to give up on our Spider Dreams. But we can probably do something. If we get rid of Get the Scoop, what happens? We just look for 2 cards, but we're already like full here. I think we have to discard Moreland. Because if we discard Hunting the Spider Brides, we take damage. And I don't want to take damage on this turn because we have a lot of problems. So I think we're going to Organic Webbing to ready ourselves. And we're going to discard Moreland so we don't have to take damage on this turn going into a big damage turn. That just readies us. Okay, we could hop down if we wanted to. Albert Moon is alter ego. Doctor is alter ego. We'll play Spider Bite for 2. So we have to figure out what we want to do here. Spider Bite's a really good card for protection. I like that a lot. So we either can attack. For Tombstone, we have no running interference cards, so we're attacking for 1. Just straight up for 1. Because Spider Claws only gives you +1 for each matching icon, and this doesn't have a lot of those cards in it. We can also hop down and take 2 off of Spider Bite with a break-in. We can also clear Get the Scoop, but again, I'm not sure that card's very good. Looks at 2 cards and tucks one of them. We also get to tuck this, but then we're full on tuck. So like we only have 4 on tuck. Stun saves you a resource on Spider Bite. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I guess we should. Yeah, we would definitely do that first. So we would Genius for Stun Gun, which we're going to play anyways. Good catch. And then we play Spider Bite for 1, and then we can just attach Energy Shield to Spider Bite. Yeah, way better. Thank you. This is a tech card. This says we can spend a charge and remove to stun a minion so we can stun Tombstone and push that problem down the road. I feel like we just have to attack Tombstone. How many web kicks are left in the deck? Because web kick does 7. So there's 2 web kicks. So we could do 7 to Tombstone, or 2 to Tombstone so Tombstone dies to a web kick. I think that's fine. So we'll use a stun gun to stun Tombstone. We're going to take 1 big attack here. I don't think we could get the scoop. I think that's just kind of rough. At least you have an Across the Spider-Verse to cheat Parker back into play. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, we can just play that if it shows up. We will thwart for 2. This just doesn't feel good. This card's so underwhelming to me. We'll attack. Again, I just want to read Spider Claws, but I don't think it does anything. For each card tucked underneath it from the same encounter set and gains Piercing. So at least you get Piercing, but we'll attack for 2 to put this in range of the swinging web kick, and then we're going to have to do 1 big block here. We'll pass. We didn't tuck underneath anything underneath us, but we might go find a Spider Bride in a second. Strength. There's the Spider-Verse. Scarlet Spider. Not today. Energy. We might just play Not Today here. Not that we need the threat so much, but it gives us +2 block. So about to flip the top card of our deck. I would love a resource generator in this deck. I'm definitely feeling it that this deck has no resource generators. Our only way to get like tempo value is by flipping down, which we actually could have done here. I think we're allowed to do it. So 1 goes here. Rhino's attacking for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a card. 7 and a card. We will block with Spider Reflexes in ourselves, so we're blocking for 4. Not Today won't trigger. So we're basically paying, 1 and a card for +2 defense, which I don't think we would do here. So it's like almost as good. We have 2 energy for Energy Shield if we wanted to, but I think we're just going to play our hand. So we'll just take the attack. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're blocking for 4. Media coverage. That's actually really important. So that's 8 and we're blocking for 4. So we take 4. We're down to 5. We can tuck this, which is running interference, which is a card from the set, which means we can hit Tombstone a bit harder. Charge is discarded because this only lasts for 1 attack. Tombstone would activate but is stunned. Our 1 encounter card is Stampede. That's bad. When revealed, Rhino attacks you. If a character is damaged by his attack, the character is stunned. So Rhino's attacking for 4 and a card. I think we'll block with Spider Bite. Yeah, otherwise we can die. So we'll block with Spider Bite. You can't tuck boosts? Oh my god, you're right. No, we can. Because of Spider Reflexes. You're right, we can't naturally tuck boosts, but this is after this attack, tuck the top card of the encounter discard pile, so the boost will be the top card, right? I just corner cut. Yeah, you technically can, but can't. You can't on Silk's text. Yeah, good catch. My bad? No, not at all. Like, we mess up all the time. All right, so we'll be attacking for 3, 4, 5 in a card. We'll block with Spider Bite. Spider Bite, 5 damage. Okay. We could consider tucking Stampede, but we're full. I want to see what the text is, but Spider-Pite is defeated. Stunned on the way out too. So we can tuck this now. I'm pretty sure Silk says that we can just make room for this. So it says, after you defeat a minion or side scheme or resolve a treachery, tuck that card underneath here. And if there are more than 4 cards, discard all but 4. So we actually can put this card here, and then we'll get rid of a Silk Nemesis card. And when we get rid of this card, because what are we doing? Discarding it. We are discarding it. Hunting the Spider Bride says we have to take 2 damage. This is nasty. It's a player card effect because it's us. That identity takes 2 damage. So we could energy shield this damage. Do we energy shield to heal 2? Is that what we're doing? We're spending 1 for 1 healing? Because this hand being across the Spider-Verse. If we don't take 2 damage, we can play Scarlet Spider. That heals for 5. I think we'll just take 2 damage. Okay, it's back to us. Yeah. This is actually kind of cool. I'm digging this more than I thought I would. So Tombstone's going to stay alive for another day. But we will do energy for Across the Spider-Verse. This card, I've never seen anyone do the bottom, but I play mostly solo. Exhaust a Web Warrior card you control. Oh, hold on. So before we do that, we'll pitch 1, 2, 3 for Scarlet Spider. No, sorry, I don't have the text on it. Scarlet Spider can be exhausted. Yeah, exactly. I didn't realize we had exhaust a card. So we'll play Scarlet Spider. I'll just show you the text on this one first. This is the Riley one, right? Yeah, this is Ben Riley. So when another Web Warrior character would take any amount of damage, Spider takes that damage instead. So that's a huge safety net. We'll exhaust Scarlet Spider to play Across the Spider-Verse. And this says exhaust a Web Warrior. Okay. Search your discard pile for Web Warrior ally and put it into play. So that means we get around the requirements because that's for playing this card. Then choose a player. That player may spend 3 resources of any type to repeat this ability. We're good. I don't know how expensive the Web Warriors get, whether this is a huge cheat. Like Spider-Man just seems like the best option. I really need to find a better way to find Peter Parker. Okay. So it comes in with 3 health. After Spider-Man attacks or thwarts, choose another Web Warrior character, ready that character. That's such a good ability. Because in theory, we can attack multiple times in a round. So we have 3 attack against Tombstone. I'm not worried about threat. We probably don't have to use the stun gun. So I think Peter Parker will attack for 2 into Tombstone. We'll ready ourselves. We'll attack for 1, 2. We have 1 running interference card, so Spider Claws gives us 3. So that goes to 2. We don't have to release a card. No, we don't have to release a card. I think we will release a card. We might flip down. I think we will flip down. Do we have to exhaust Scarlet Spider? No. Oh, that's pretty good. So then I'm going to use Organic Webbing to get rid of the Spider Bride. When we get rid of this, we discard it. We're ready. We take 2 damage. We'll give it to Ben. Thanks, bud. We're ready. So either we can attack for 2 or we can flip down to recover. I think I'm happy recovering. So I'll attack for 2. That defeats Tombstone. This goes underneath. Now we can flip down. And it's very likely that we draw into a mental resource, which we can heal with Dr. Sinclair. This deck is cool. We'll flip down with Cindy. We can use Cindy's Moon's ability to get rid of a card. I'm never going to let go of Tombstone until the deck cycles, because then we don't have to deal with Tombstone. The deck only has a couple cards. So I'll get rid of this other running interference card. That means with Cindy, we can draw 2 cards. We're looking for mental. Found 1. Found just 1. We'll throw out Madame Web to Dr. Sinclair. That says that we can exhaust this to heal to recovery and remove a thing. We don't have that. We have this ready for a fight, which is whatever. We'll then use Albert Moon. And I don't think we need another card underneath us. I think we're just going to... No, we should do this because then we can recover next round. So it says tuck the top card of the counter deck underneath Cindy Moon. So we get Sandman, who's a Rhino card. This is hype. That was actually really cool. Don't worry that we haven't touched Rhino. We'll get to that at some point and then we'll pass. Wait, that was sick. Also note that Scarlet Spider can take the consequential damage. Oh yeah, from Spider-Man. We should do that. You're right. So Spider-Man can stay alive and Scarlet Spider can stay damaged. The one rules question I don't understand is, say that we take like 12 damage from an attack. Can we assign 12 damage to Scarlet Spider who does not have 12 health? Like, it's not like indirect damage. We can just overdo it, right? Because next turn we can always draw a card, then Albert Moon, and then we'll be full again, which is sick. Actually really cool. Really, really cool. One, not today. Two, swinging silk kick. That's going to be our damage. We just have to get rid of the suit. We could get rid of the horn, actually. Four, J. Jonah's showing up. Probably won't play J. Jonah. Another swinging web kick. Six is the journalism, which we can play, which we will actually play right now. It's a bit expensive, but we have so much card draws coming in. So breaking comes. Rhino will scheme for a 1 and a card. I don't know how this works. So chat, let me know if you know, because this is a card that says, when an enemy would scheme, cancel that activation and confuse the enemy. In Lord of the Rings, in theory, Rhino would get a boost card, and then we would play this, and then we would just discard the boost card, obviously. Does this happen before or after you deal a boost card? I don't know. This sounds like when the enemy would scheme, so we don't get the boost card just yet. But if it says when the enemy initiates an attack, do they get the boost card first? But I'm pretty sure we're going to play this. We're going to get rid of Stop Hitting Yourself and J. Jonah. And we'll be able to investigate. This is an alter ego team up. When an enemy would scheme, cancel, and give that confuse. So that's basically 2 confuses. Not that confusing Rhino is super valuable. That's cool. It's before. So they don't get the boost. But what about if it is like Magic Barrier? Because Magic Barrier says when an enemy initiates an attack. Is initiation before or after boost? If they die to this. Like, I honestly don't know. 1 encounter card. Okay, cool. We have to put this underneath, so we'll get rid of running interference. This has surge. Oh, not Tombstone. No, we're not getting rid of Tombstone. We're never getting rid of Tombstone. We'll get rid of a Rhino card. I think the Rhino card we care about is the one that heals 4. Who cares? Surge. All tied up. Attach your identity. Okay. Attach character can now ready or change form. Oh, that's bad. Spend a physical and a mental to discard this card. Looking at her hand. Nailed it. Okay. Isn't random what gets sent? Ooh, good question. I didn't read the card. You're right. It's random. Fascinating. If you have 4 cards underneath you, discard one of those cards at random. That's much more cool. So we had these 4 underneath us. Good catch. I need to slow down and read all the cards. I'm always like stressed that I need to play a bit faster, but we should learn the cards right the first time. 1, 4. Rhino card. It's Sandman. That's fine. Okay. And so now we have to untie ourselves. We need to start doing damage to Rhino. That shouldn't be an issue. We're in a good spot, I think. So the first thing first, I'm going to get rid of Hunting the Spider Bride after we deck out, I think. Because I don't think it's that bad of a card underneath us. And I don't want it to get into the deck and cycle. So we're going to draw 2 cards with Cindy Moon. So we're going to discard a card. We'll get a card back immediately. So I'm going to get rid of whatever the Rhino card that I didn't care about the first time. The one that heals. So we'll do that to draw 2 cards. Okay, we didn't draw any more cards. We drew Eidetic Memory. I don't know how to say this word. And I know I spelt it wrong in my search, so that's not going to help. When you reveal a card from this game encounter set as a card tucked underneath your identity, exhaust this to swap those cards and reveal the card that's been tucked underneath. That's kind of annoying because I want to keep the bad cards underneath me, but this actually incentivizes you to keep the good cards underneath you. Yeah, the good cards underneath you so that you can play the good cards again. So the fact that we got rid of this one that heals 4, that would have been better underneath us. You pronounced it correctly. Eidetic. I don't know what it means. No idea. Okay. That's this. That's fine. We have to get rid of All Tied Up. I'm glad we chose this encounter set. It's pretty cool. So we'll get rid of a physical and a mental. Not a lot of choices. Those go. We are untied. As an action, you can do it on either side, right? Because it could be hero or alter ego. Well, Albert Moon, to tuck the top card of the deck. Oh, no, we can just heal 3, I think. Wait, this hand's awful. We can't play a swinging web kick. Can we draw cards? No. We can't draw cards. I guess we play Eidetic Memory and call it a day. I guess we'll heal 3. Our activation's a bit better, so we'll use Albert Moon to heal. We're going to get a card underneath us in a second with Spider Bite, so we'll exhaust Albert Moon to heal damage from Cindy equal to the amount of cards. So recover 3. We'll flip up. Here, we will attack for 2, not using our boost. So that will do 2 damage to Rhino, but that goes on the Armored Rhino suit. And now that it has at least 5, it's discarded. It uses a fancy way of saying photographic memory, at least how it's used in literature. Okay, cool. That tracks. It's different than Taskmaster, right? Interrupts that trigger when villain attacks have same timing as interrupts when villain initiates an attack. So that would still be before a boost, right? Because boost is part of the attack resolution and you precede that, is my guess. I guess it's either we play another stun gun or we play the eidetic memory. Eidetic memory is like less resource. It uses our resources poorly, but we can keep a web kick, and I'm okay keeping a web kick on the basis that we need to do a lot of damage. So I will pitch a stun gun for the eidetic memory. And this is when you reveal a card from the same encounter set as a card tucked. And reveal is not boost. You don't reveal boosts technically. This is us. Well, thwart. We have a confuse. We'll do 2 damage with Spider-Man. We're getting him. We're believing, and we'll put the damage on Scarlet Spider instead. That will ready us. Then we have 1 Rhino card, so we'll attack for 1, 2, 3. Cool. We could do again for 2, removing a card from underneath us. I think removing a card from underneath us is not a big deal. Is a card worth 2 damage? What could a damage cost, Michael? I don't want to release Tombstone, and I want to have the Rhino card because it allows us to block better. So I don't think we do. I think this is fine. The big question is, can we assign all the damage to Scarlet Spider, who has 1 health left? That'll be the important thing on this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very Precon hand. Not great. This goes to 3, and we get attacked for 4 in a card. I'd say before boost cards. Initiates attack, autocorrect is being wonky. Okay, so that tracks, I guess. So 3 in a card. Again, Scarlet Spider says that when another web warrior would take amount of damage, Scarlet takes that damage instead. So I think you can over-assign damage, is my guess. We're still going to block because we get spider reflexes, so we go up a card, but we don't actually need to because we'll get a card probably on the encounter phase. Yeah, I don't think we want to block here. We're going to get a card anyways, probably, when we resolve a treachery. So I don't think it's a huge deal. So I think we'll just block with Scarlet Spider to put Scarlet Spider back into the deck because we're about to deck out. So we'll block for 3. Rhino attacks for 4, 5, 6, 7 under fire. We could have tucked that underneath us, which would have been okay. I don't like that card. But Scarlet Spider is bravely defeated. We draw 1 encounter card. It's Shocker. Okay, we can web kick the heck out of Shocker. 3 health when reveal, deal 1 damage to each hero. So we have to take that unless we want to energy shield it. I don't think it's worth it. So we'll take 1. And Shocker comes in with 3 health. Says any amount. Galeheart, how's it going? So I think it's fine. Yeah, that's my hope. How you doing, by the way? How's your Friday night? Okay, it's up to us. So if we defeat Shocker, we can tuck Shocker. We can get rid of a Rhino card to do overkill damage. And I think we are coasting. We actually could get rid of the horn, but it's basically our whole turn to do that. So I don't think we will. So I'm going to do Swinging Silk Kick for 1, 2, 3. We'll always just put this on Spider-Man if we need to. This card, I don't think I like it. At least it's free. So that's Swinging Silk Kick. I like how this refills your pile as soon as you defeat something. Deal 7 damage to an enemy while target Shocker. You may discard a card tucked underneath Silk from the same encounter set. So we'll get rid of this Rhino card, which is going to go back. Oh, the deck is empty. Huge. We got to catch that before we shuffle. So we have an acceleration. We have been playing a bit slow, but our early game was kind of rough. As soon as this deck is empty, like every deck in Marvel Champions, you shuffle immediately, so you don't have to wait for another encounter card. I feel like the color is a lot better. I think we did a good job. Besides my face, but this webcam is so bad. Okay, so all the Moreland stuff is back in there besides this one that we have. So deal 7 damage, so we're going to do 7 damage. If we discard something from the same encounter set, which we will, it deals 2 additional damage and overkill. So we're doing 9 damage to Shocker. So 3 goes into Shocker, 6 goes into Rhino. Shocker we've defeated, so we can tuck Shocker. That means we can still attack for some good damage. So I will attach the energy shield to Spider-Man just to get it out of the deck. We will attack for 3 using Spider Claws. Yep. We'll do 3 to Rhino. What happens when we advance Rhino? What's Rhino 3 do? Stun each hero? Oh, that's fine. Toughness? That's fine. Oh, wait. It has toughness, so we should do this in the other order. So I'm actually going to attack for 2 damage. So Villain Restore 1. So we'll attack for 2 damage into Rhino. Rhino 2. We will keep the Spider Claws. Then Spider-Man, who hasn't activated yet, will attack for 2. That will defeat Rhino. So Rhino is defeated, and then we reveal Rhino 3. So when revealed, stun each hero. Oh, we're stunned. Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't make a difference. I thought we'd be able to attack. Oh, but we can. Spider-Man will activate Ready Silk. We can do this. So Spider-Man, Ready Silk. Toughness, 16 health. Hits for a fair bit harder. So villain set 16. Okay. Now we'll attack. We're stunned, so we'll get rid of the stunned. Then we will use organic webbing. We'll get rid of Tombstone, which won't be very useful, to ready ourselves. And then we'll attack with the Spider Claws, which gives us 3 attack and piercing. So this is the better order to do it. This attack gains piercing. So that does 3 and the toughness at the same time. I think here this will go to 5. So jumping down is a bit scary. We actually probably could have dealt with that. That's a bit more a threat than I'm comfortable with. But that means we can't jump down. Oh, we could actually still jump down because we have a ready for a fight. So jumping down, it's not that good. We just draw 1 more card. These cards we could get rid of. I don't think we do. We'll pass. Yeah, especially because we're going to draw another encounter card. So we have 2 wall crawls, a Smooth as Silk. This Smooth as Silk card seems really underwhelming. There's a lot of kits that have a 0 cost event that like makes their kit do something. But this one, I don't think a card is worth ripping through the deck that bad. Like if this didn't discard, if this searched the top 9 cards, something like that, I'd be much happier to play this. But that is like, doesn't feel like a good effect. Obviously, like we need our kickers and that's kind of good, especially with eidetic memory, like being able to cancel. So on harder difficulty, especially in certain scenarios, there might be certain encounter cards you really want to be able to cancel consistently. I just don't feel like that's a good enough card. I can't tell. We'll shuffle, we'll draw 2 more cards. So our hand is all threat work, which is fine. We can maybe clear Get the Scoop on tempo. And we have a Rhino card for the break-in. Actually, the card that we had underneath us, the 1 Silk card we had underneath us, does actually interact with Get the Scoop, because Get the Scoop is the other Silk side scheme. That's actually kind of funny. So the 1 card that we claimed our obligation has implication, which is good. I think Smooth as Silk works well if you utilize the player side scheme. Why do you think, Garrett? Genius. Stun gun, not great hand. I don't get this card. The Cindy Moon player looks at the top 2 cards of the counter deck and tucks one of those. So I guess you can do the scoop and then you know what the card is, so you just get the top card. It just feels like we can't get the cards underneath us fast enough. But I see what you mean. If you know the top deck, or also if you play like Shield and you can look at the top card of the deck, that might make sense too. That could work. Where's Rhino 3? Oh, sorry, Rhino 3 is here. It's very similar looking. You might have noticed very little change. Just 1 number goes up. But yeah, good catch. All right, this goes to 5 because acceleration. Actually, that's a bit scary. I don't think we can straight lose to it. But if there is a, we need to have 2 activations that both scheme to have a chance. Rhino's attacking for 5 and a card. We will block for 3. We will use Spider Reflexes, so we're blocking for 4. That's all we got. Ow, Moreland. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, that's 8. We could tuck Moreland after this activation. In fact, we have to. So we were attacked for 8. We blocked for 4. We take 4. It hurts. It does hurt pretty bad. 2 encounter cards because we shuffled our deck. I forgot to set 1 inside. In theory, Moreland would have been our encounter card, but it's all random. It's fine. We have a charge again. That's arguably worse. If we get attacked here, we lose. I guess we could eidetic memory. Okay, hold on. Hunting has Surge. When revealed, if you have 4 cards tucked underneath your identity, tuck this card underneath your identity. Can we eidetic memory this? When you reveal a card from the same encounter set as a card tucked underneath, exhaust and swap. So we could swap this for Moreland. That seems terrible. We'll just take this. All right. It's back. It's the Great Hunt. It's on the table. It's a side scheme. It has 6 threat. Yikes. Okay. Things are not good. I thought we were okay, but that actually was not a good turn for us. So what do we have to deal with now? We have a lot of threat on the table. We're technically exhausted. If we get rid of Hunting the Spider Bite, we take 2 damage, which is okay. I think this turn we're going to have to play 2 Wall Crawls. And Wall Crawl seems a bit expensive, but then once you realize you get the card back, if you complete something, it's actually not that bad. So if we want a lot of cards, we can do Get the Scoop. We luckily do have 2 cards that line up with the Great Hunt, so we can Wall Crawl the Great Hunt. Wall Crawl will do 5 threat. So I think we do 3, 2, 2, 3, and then clear this and take all the damage. That seems fine. I think we'll be okay. We're going to have to jump down this turn, though. So I think Spider-Man probably does the break-in a bit. And we'll ready. Yeah, we'll do a lot of things here. So we'll start here. We'll pitch Stun Gun for Wall Crawl. So remove 2 threat from a scheme. I think we'll do this one. Choose a scheme. You may discard a card tucked underneath Silk. So we'll discard Hunting the Spider Bride. When we discard this, we take 2 damage. To remove 2 threat from the chosen scheme, so we'll get rid of this. Okay, wait, actually, kind of dodgy. Kind of dodgy. So, issues if we wanted Dr. Sinclair. Huh. I definitely need to get rid of this. There's no way around it. We can ready ourselves, no problem. This is another Hunting Spider Bride? Okay, so there's only one more Hunting the Spider Bride. Some random nonsense the world would happen before and have higher priority than the effects that don't say would. So investigative journalism effects would happen before, like Ultron's one trigger. I wish they had a better layout for the rulebook. Some random nonsense the world would happens before and have higher priority than the effects that don't say would. So journalism has priority with Ultron. Oh yeah, that tracks. So I understand what you're trying to say. So investigative journalism stops the activation. So things that say when this activates do something don't happen because activation was canceled. I think that's like kind of intuitive, but you're right. The fact that would has priority. It's weird how English gets used like that. We feel like we'd have a better structure, but it's okay, I think. Okay, so we can use Albert Moon to recover that. Actually, it's probably a good jump down. We might not use Dr. Sinclair. Because I think here we have to wall crawl again. Overpaying. So wall crawl will happen one more time. So we will get rid of Moreland. So we can remove 2 from this. And then 3 from the Great Hunt. We can tuck this. So that's fine. Oh, charge is bad. We need to recover a lot. Why do we have this? Why did I hold on to this? So I'll hold on to Genius instead. Why did I hold on to an energy? Oh, because energy shield? I don't think I care. I'll hold on to this instead. Wood wording is used for interrupts in Netrunner? Yes, and I think there's some really cursed Netrunner wording where when an opponent would expose, don't. And they immediately were like, no, you can't do that. Like it did not survive past the core set. All right, so we can ready by getting rid of a card, but cards are healing. So I think we're just going to use Spider-Man. Spider-Man. I think we're going to keep the card to heal Spider-Man, but that's okay. So Spider-Man will attack for 2 just to get some damage in. That will ready us. We'll hop down because we have to deal with the charge sooner than later. So we'll hop down. This is a bit sketch, but we have it confused. We'll be fine. Cindy Moon is now down here. Cindy Moon will recover for 3. Albert will use Dr. Sinclair to recover for 3. And then I think we'll just use Albert Moon to recover for 3. We can't be at 11. And then next turn we can get another card with Albert Moon, so we'll be on 3 cards and we'll draw 2. We could draw 2 here first, but I don't think there's much that we can draw that we actually want to play. We could have drawn into an energy shield, but then we couldn't have readied Cindy Moon. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I've been talking about how good this card is, and we just left it on the table all game, but we've been in an okay spot. Smooth as Silk. Stop hitting yourself. I would love to be able to finish the game with that, but we have to block and not take damage, which is really hard against this. And we have a Madame Web. She also has a scry effect. Like, we haven't talked about Madame Web. This is probably a turn where she gets played. But Madame Web lets you look at the top of the deck. Also, her mother was, I think, she died in the rainforest researching spiders. So anyways, we can look at the top X cards where X is the amount of Web Warriors, which will be 3. Yeah, I do think Blindfold is maybe a bit better, but there is Web Warrior synergy, so that's not too bad. This goes to 3. Rhino's confused. Counter card. Media coverage. Okay, glad that we got this without boost because this was brutal the first time we got it. So when revealed happens an additional time. There's no way we're letting that happen. So I'm going to get rid of Hunting the Spider Bride to draw 2 cards. We'll take 2 damage. And then we draw 2 with Cindy Moon's ability. 1, 2. Before I forget, I'll just get rid of the media coverage. Alter ego action, so we can't tuck it. Not that you can tuck obligations, I don't think. Okay, so we're a bit wounded. We get Albert Moon for a card. I'm okay Albert Mooning for a card. We get Madame Web first to see what the card is. So Madame Web says you look at the top 3. So look at the top X cards. We'd only have 1 Web Warrior, actually 2 because it counts herself. Where X is the number of Web Warriors, you may discard 1 and look and put the rest back. So in theory, we can set up with Albert Moon. I think we just want a Rhino card with Albert Moon so we can start blocking a lot better. I don't think we need to hold on to the Moreland cards anymore. So we just want to find as many Rhino cards. So this also means we can put a boost on the deck so that we can block fully. We know we're going to be attacked really, really hard. So I do think we're just going to Albert Moon to heal. I think we have enough cards underneath us, and Madame Web might set something up. We can Madame Web into Smooth and Silk and not feel terrible about it. So we'll Albert Moon to recover 2. And we'll flip up. Cool. So up here... Wait, we can just win, right? This is 9 damage, 10, 11, 12... No, we just win. Why do we... Don't do anything smart. Just win. Silly. So we'll do 1, 2, 3 for Swinging Silk Cook. We like almost missed lethal. Deal 7 damage to enemy. You may discard a card from Silk from the same encounter set as that enemy. So we'll discard Rhino. So that does 9 damage. So 9. And then I'm going to do it just to see what it feels like. I'm going to do Smooth as Silk. And I'm going to say Rhino. Choose an enemy or scheme in play. Rhino. Discard cards from the top of the counter deck until a card is discarded of the same type. It's Rhino. Tuck that card underneath Silk. Okay, wish this drew a card or something. And then we can attack with the Spider Claws because we have a Rhino card that does 3 damage. Our burst damage is actually pretty good. This kit is cool. Wait, Silk is really cool. The thing is, like, I don't think we need to play all of these because well, the thwart one readies you, which is really good. The attack one is pretty okay. I feel like in certain sets where there's certain cards that you don't care about, eidetic memory gets a bit better. I honestly don't know if we would have been firing it that much. And you can see the parts of the precon that we're not interacting with at all. Like Energy Shield is just nothing burger. Stop Hitting Yourself is only good if you build into like a perfect block deck, which we easily could. We have 3 block and we can make it really good by just stacking Rhino cards underneath us. Ready for a Fight. I don't think you need 3 in a deck unless you're building into it. And not today. It's not a bad card, but I definitely don't want 3 stun guns in the deck. I like this more than I thought I would. That actually is kind of cool. You have a lot of control. I don't think I like J. Jonah a lot. There's a lot of side schemes that's pretty good, like playing against Red Skull. I imagine that does something. But I don't know. This just feels like the worst card in the whole deck. I don't know why there's so many pieces that are built around it. Okay. I think we might start a bit of a campaign run. We have a lot of time, right? That's 4 o'clock. We have like an hour and a bit. So we might do a campaign run. I don't know if we have time to modify the deck. I think we'll just do a basic modification. We'll take out the cards that we don't need to be 3 ofs, and then we'll use that as a starting point. I don't think we're going to do like a massive modification, but let's just take this apart and we'll go from there. Want to know if would attack and attack had a difference or if it was just a writer's preference? Oh yeah, that is a difference because would attack is before the attack. It is exactly an interrupt. Yeah, that I think is pretty reasonable. All right, get the scoops back in. This is out. Rhino was kind of fun. Actually, wasn't the worst. Kind of interesting. We actually had to obviously like care about Rhino a bit because Rhino was hitting really hard, as Rhino can do. He says never clearing the horn. 1, 2. That set was cool, actually. I'm really glad we played with that set. That was a good choice. Attachment. Stampede. No. I guess we could put that with standard. 1, 2. Moreland. Okay. So Breaking Taken goes on top. That's good. Then we have some Rhino cards. Cool. Seems like you don't technically deal the card until you resolve the attack. Yeah, I need to look at the structure a bit better to know when the card is dealt. I think I'm a bit maybe mimicking too much Lord of the Rings, where like you deal the boost cards at the beginning of the attack phase, and then if you have something that says prevent the attack, you don't flip the boost card, so you don't read the text, but it ends up in the discard pile, so you technically get to see what it is, right? Running interference. This set is really strange. If you care about the set numbers, generally a set that's based around a minion, this is card 1. They made it so that the side scheme with the same name is card 1 and then the minion is card 2, which they didn't do that much later on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. We didn't miss a card. All right. Let's grab the Mad Titan Shadow. Who's the first scenario Mad Titan Shadow? Who is it? It's been a moment. Ebony? I think it's Ebony Maw, right? That's cool. So I use the boxes for storage. I like it. I think we should probably build the deck a bit before we set up, but so much for that. All right, we're going to start with Ebony Maw, and we'll see how far we can get through a campaign. I think we can maybe do 1 or 2 scenarios. I don't know if I'll finish the whole campaign on camera. I might finish it off camera. I do want to record some like one-off gameplays to put on the channel because campaign runs are taking a lot of time. And yeah, those are some long videos. So I think all we need is Ebony Maw. I'm not sure what else is in here. I think we have everything we need. So if we do this. So Ebony Maw's here. So a lot of environments. Those are all the spells. We're playing with Secure the Landing Pad and Security Breach. If we're playing a campaign, we have to have a bunch of minions with armies of Titans, so that's a small set. And then you also have Black Order, which is only 4 cards and has 2 big minions. So that might not be great for Silk, but we'll give that a shot. So that's on the table. That's fine. Let's make some quick changes to this deck. Let's see how quickly we can do it on the fly. We'll just grab the binders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this deck apart and take out the cards that I don't think we need multiple copies of. So this is not bad because we're playing Spider Bite, and I think Spider Bite is definitely worth still playing. I don't know if we will need to play 3 of each of these. I think that's the thing we're going to challenge for sure. Dr. Sinclair also doesn't seem incredibly necessary considering we have Albert Moon, which is another healing card, but I'll try it because it's been fun. We'll keep the team up. Can't get rid of J. Jonah, unfortunately. Not today. Adds a bit of thwarting to our kit, which I don't know if we need. I like Scarlet Spider. We'll continue playing Scarlet Spider. Cross the Spider Universe is totally fine. Stop hitting yourself. I actually don't think we play it unless we build into a perfect block deck. Our deck has enough damage that I don't think you actually need this because we do have 3 swinging with Silk kicks and they do a lot of damage. That's this. We'll keep the allies. We'll keep the resources. So we have 3 guns, 3 not todays. Ready for a fight. Stop hitting yourself, energy shield, and I'll keep Madame Web because that's fine. So question is, what Web Warrior cards are we not playing that we should be playing, and vice versa? We have no research generators. That's something I want to fix. There are no like obvious research generators for Web Warriors besides team building exercise, but that only really works if you're playing a lot of allies. I do think we can play the one that draws cards whenever a Web Warrior leaves, but I haven't played a lot of Web Warrior synergy decks because when I got into this game, it was after the Web Warrior set. And so a lot of the conversation online was about, more so about mutants. That was kind of the time I got in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. So let me grab the binders and see if there's anything obvious we're missing. All right, we'll start with protection. Oof. I think we're slightly a perfect block deck. Stunning is not the worst. Like, we don't need to block every round. I just want to see what Web Warriors we have access to in here. We have Silk. Unfortunately, we can't play that. We have Spider UK, which says when Spider UK defends against an attack, deal damage to the attacking enemy equal to the number of Web Warrior cards you control. That's cool. That says when you would attack. Sorry, when Spider defends. So in theory, you can defeat something before. You have Spider-Man Miles Morales. After you play Spider-Man from your hand, stun and confuse an enemy if you control at least 3 Web Warrior cards. Very expensive, though. I'll try Spider UK. I've never played it. I think the basic ones are probably a bit better than Spider UK, but this means we can do a lot of defending, especially with the other Scarlet Spider together. So that's cool. Let's see what other Web Warrior synergy stuff we have. Fortunately, this has to go on top of things, which is not the best. So Web Warrior stuff. So around this section, we have the Web Warriors. So we have Spider-Man, Hobie Brown. Hobie says if you control a Web Warrior card, when Spider-Man leaves play, discard the top 3 cards of the counter deck and deal damage equal to the number of boost icons. Not awful. We'll know the top of the deck sometimes, which is kind of good. I think you just need to play a lot. Ghost Spider's good. Ghost Spider costs 3. When Ghost Spider leaves play, search your deck for an identity-specific event and add it to your hand. Super useful, good stats for 3. That's fine. We have this Scarlet Spider, which we can play 2 of them because this Scarlet Spider is a different subtitle. It says when you would reveal an encounter card, name a card type, then look at the card. If that card is of the name type, deal 1 damage to Scarlet Spider and draw a card. SPDR is sick. This might be too many allies. Spider-Ham, also, after Spider-Ham attacks or thwarts, discard the top card in the counter deck, take some damage. We want to play auto. After you play a Spider-Man from your hand, ready an upgrade you control. That upgrade has a tech trait, draw a card. Ooh, that seems really good. So let's see what techs we can exhaust, because that makes a lot of sense with some of our deck. Especially because if we want to play Spider Bite, we want to play checks. Okay. Other spider stuff. There is a spider attachment, a support that we probably want to play. So all the research generators we can't really play, right? We could play Helicarrier. Team building actually makes sense now because we have a lot of Web Warriors. So we'll play 1 copy of team building. That's fine. We can jump down a lot. So some of the jump down supports are good. Web of Life and Destiny, that's what we want. After a Web Warrior ally leaves play, draw a card. And we have a lot of them. This also costs us nothing if you're a Web Warrior. So that's really easy to play. The basic Scarlet Spider works with your eidetic memory if that's an interest for you. The basic Scarlet Spider works. Wait, really? Kane works? So this is Scarlet Spider. This says when you would reveal an encounter card, name a card type. Then look at the card. If that card is the name type, deal 1 damage to Scarlet Spider and draw a card. So this doesn't cancel it. This is just a draw engine. But the idea is that with eidetic memory, swap those cards, reveal the card that's tucked. Oh, cool. I don't think that's great, but the payoff there is okay. It's just a card draw. I'll try it. It seems okay. That's funny. Like, that's a consistent way to get it to happen. So that's a good shout out. I don't honestly know if that's still worth it, but the interaction works, so why not? Yeah, you reveal a bad card, then switch the card, then you name the card that you would reveal with eidetic. So that's kind of cool. So you get the draw no matter what. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. That's cool. Not great, but it's a nice card draw. Yeah, it doesn't seem amazing, but it's fine. All right, are there any upgrades we want to play? If we play Tex, we could play Leo Fitz, or I think Simmons is in a deck already that I have, so probably won't do that. I don't think there's any Web Warrior upgrades. None of our attacks are superpowers because I believe, yeah, Silk is kind of natural themed. Warrior of the Grey Web, after an ally leaves play, it gets +1. I think we play one of these. Warrior of the Grey Web is just fine. We technically can play it on anyone. We don't really need to. We're not a genius, right? Cindy Moon's not a genius. Oh, sick! Oh, we can play Ingenuity. Okay, no, wait, there is a research generator that we can play. So that's cool. We also consider playing the dinosaur. Six web kick and upgrades are superpower traded. Really? Sorry, practice plan is actually sometimes worth playing. I think for practice plan to make a lot of sense, you probably want to be playing at least another preparation. But practice plan on top of what's it called? The one ready for a fight is actually like a reasonable strategy to stay in alter ego for most of the game. So we do have some superpowers, so we can deft focus. What is a superpower in our kit? I didn't think there was any. All the upgrades are superpowers. Okay, never mind. Web Silk Kick is a superpower. Wall Crawl isn't? Oh, wait, no, Wall Crawl is. Yeah, we'll play Deft Focus. That seems fine. Good catch. Thank you. I should check before I say stuff. I think we're going to go for... What's the older art? Oh, the older art's the one with Angel. I like this art better. Okay, how many cards is this? Do we have a consistent game plan? I think our deck is like barely a protection deck. Oh, we need to look at tech cards because we have tech synergy. So I think we have too many cards here, but we want to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, we have a couple cards in here that don't count. So 15. We want to play 25 of these cards. 16, that's fine. In theory, oh, this has to be Peter Parker, so it doesn't work with every Spider-Man. 17, 18, 19, 20. Cool, so let's just go get some good tech cards that we actually want to exhaust. I don't know if there's any good ideas for tech cards that exhaust. I want to make sure. We'll actually play some of these. I think we'll play 21, 22, and then we'll get some tech cards. It's probably not Stun Gun. Stun Gun's not bad because we can do any enemy management until we draw into a Silk Kick. Like, there's something there. But the neutral tech cards are like the handgun that I don't want to play. That one does exhaust to do like, is it 1 damage? Well, let's see what things exhaust that are worth it, that are tech cards. Energy Barrier doesn't exhaust, so that doesn't really work. Electrostatic doesn't exhaust. It's still like sometimes worth playing because it makes your Spider Bite a bit cheaper. Force Field doesn't exhaust. None of them. Wait, literally none of them exhaust? So I guess you need to be playing like SPDR, right? I'm a sucker for Energy Barrier, that's for sure. Just like a really smooth card. But let's just keep it with the new cards and play 2 Stun Guns. So there's a chance that we'll take out Octavius. I think we will. Yeah, I think we'll probably take out our friend here. Oh, wait, this is really cheap, though. Oh, actually, who cares? If we ready something, we just draw a card. That seems totally fine. How am I ever going to find this there, finally? So it says if it's an upgrade, draw a card. Okay, so we'll definitely play this, and we'll just have some cheap techs. So our techs that we have are just the Stun Guns, so not great synergy point. So we could play a single energy shield instead of the second Stun Gun. That might be fine. How many cards is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's fine. There's a chance we could get away with playing Power in All of Us because our basic cards are really, really strong. Power in All of Us, I think, works with Spider-Man. It works with Journalism. It works with all of these cards. I think we need at least 6 or 7 cards to be comfortable playing Power in All of Us, which is a double for basics. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we definitely can play Power in All of Us. Auto can ready organic webbing. Is it a tech? Oh no, but it can ready anything, right? And ready an upgrade. Yeah, if it's a tech, we get the kicker. Yeah, so we could technically do that. We also can ready our claws if we want to do 2 attacks, but you need a ready in that. So we'll do a Power in All of Us. We'll do the non-X-Men one. So we probably should cut 2 cards. Easily our worst cards. Probably a stun gun. Probably an energy shield. It's just energy shield smooth to play. It's really easy to play. It's just like not good. We're never gonna fire. We didn't fire it once in the last game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Plus 5, yeah. So we are basically a Web Warrior pile, which ends up a lot when you play Web Warriors. We'll give this a shot. And we'll play against Ebony Maw. Okay, cool. So this starts here. We have Ebony Maw 2. We'll play on Expert. So I have been slowly doing this so you can see who I played recently. So we set up the Ebony Maw 2-3. This goes aside. It says force interrupt when Ebony Maw activates against you. Villain name Ebony Maw. Villain health 18. So you have to remove an invocation counter from each spell in play, and when revealed, which we'll do in a second, each player discard cards from the top of the counter deck until they discard a spell, and puts that card into play in their play area. We start with the secure the landing pad because we're going to be playing on campaign mode, and we're going to have a security breach shuffled into the deck. Attack on Nowhere is the beginning. Attack on Nowhere says we're going to be playing with Ebony Maw 2 and 3. We have Armies of Titans in Black Order, and then we're going to play on Standard and Expert. We're playing Standard 3, of course, as we usually do. We flip this over. The backside of this says 6 scheme. If this advances, there's 1 more behind it. When revealed, each player discards the top card of the deck until a spell is discarded, and then we shuffle the deck back. So slightly different text than how they used to do it in like Claw, where you just discard cards and don't shuffle back. I like this a lot better. So you always start with a deck of as many cards as you can. So we'll do a quick shuffle here because we're just going to discard for a spell, and then we'll reshuffle the deck in a second. Secure the landing pad. We'll start with 2. And then we have to do the when revealed on Ebony Maw, so we'll have 2 spells in play, I think. So give us a spell. That's a spell. Pacification. So the spells are all environments. They all have counters. And every time that Ebony Maw activates, is it activate? Yeah, not even attack. Activates, we remove a counter. This one, when it gets this last counter, we exhaust each upgrade and we're stunned. Not the worst. Could be worse. There's one that's that just do like 4 burst damage, and it's hard to interact with those. So we'll just shuffle this up. Secure the landing pad. Or actually, I guess we'll do Ebony Maw now. So Ebony Maw 2 says each player discards cards from the top of the counter deck until they discard a spell card. In theory, if we discard a campaign card, we will shuffle it back because that shouldn't be in the deck when you do your basic setup. If we can get the landing pad, we get Cosmo back. Cosmo is a very good dog. And then we just have like a cheap ally with good stats. Nanako, Tina's gone. You don't have to hide in the corner. You can go out and play. All right. Looking for there we got Fireball. That's not a good one. That's a lot of damage. So this is the one that just like hits you for damage. This is 4 damage, but it has 4 counters. So that'll be a while. These do not get shuffled back. So we have to remember we lost 3 Armies of Titan cards. So that deck now only has 3 cards in the whole set. So getting synergy with Silk is going to be a bit harder. We're going to have to work for it. We don't have +1 thwart, and we'll start. Cody, how's it going? Just crashing through, lurking for some background while I work. Hopefully your Friday is good. I don't know what the weekend holds, but glad you could drop by. I'm really pleased with the Crash Space name. It was a suggestion, and for those who don't know, it is a Netrunner card back from the 2012 core set. And the fact that we took that name and kind of rebranded it into the sort of like cartoon Crash, whatever that sort of like sound bubble crashes. I'm happy with it. All right, this is ready to go. Secure the landing pad. This comes in, it has hinder 1, so it's on 3, and when defeated, flip the card. The backside of this one is good, which is not always the case when you play through the campaign of the Mad Titan Shadow. Mad Titan Shadow is a weird campaign box. It has some of my I think my favorite scenarios. Shout out to Hella being just such a cool scenario. Uh-oh, some of the cards are upside down. That's not good. And then it has scenarios like Loki and Thanos, which I think are kind of a slog. I feel like Loki, and I know they're revisiting Loki in the upcoming Gen Con expansion, but Loki felt like a villain that had the chance to be a real trickster, to do really wild things with you, manipulating your hand, and like, I don't know, there's just so much creativity when it comes to a trickster, and instead Loki just had a lot of stats and just jumped to different Lokis that had different traits. It didn't land for me. I wish Loki was a bit more like Mysterio, but had wilder effects. Like, I wish Loki said, oh, flip your discard pile with your deck. Like, stuff like that. That's actually like really plays a trick on you. I thought that would be so much cooler than just like, oh, now Loki has retaliate. Like, I don't care. I did not know that. Looks like it'd be a strong card today. Crash Space? It was never that good. It's wild. It was like one of the solutions to Scorched Earth in the original core set, and it didn't see a lot of play until Plastic Carapace came out. Then it saw no play, but it wouldn't be bad. It would be a good sub card. It's 2 recurring credits to remove a tag, right? That's not bad at all. The thing is, like, a lot of times the tag you took in original core set flatlined you, but I guess that does also prevent some 8 damage, which is a cool piece of theme. All right, we're off for Cindy Moon. Again, Ebony Maw, 18 health. We just have to defeat Ebony Maw twice. We have no cards tucked underneath us, but let's start tucking some cards. Outwit. This is the one that does a lot of threat work. Not awful. I don't think we have to keep this. We have other ways to get +1 thwart. But if we set up, we can deal with some side schemes. Organic Webbing, that's better. That gives us +1 thwart on turn 1. And allows us to ready ourselves, which seems important. We did shuffle this, right? That's our claws. This is just a weird, I shuffled. You just saw me shuffle. We got all our upgrades together. We have Get the Scoop, which I don't think I care about. Stun Gun, I don't care about. And Smooth as Silk, which I also don't care about. Now, Smooth as Silk in this deck, I think it so favors Ebony Maw that we could just play Smooth as Silk. Unfortunately, it's a hero action, which makes sense. But that means we could Smooth as Silk immediately if it wasn't, and then just trade it for 2 card draw. But this might be an okay setup card. We definitely don't keep Stun Gun. I don't like Get the Scoop. I could see us keeping it because it's free. I don't think we need to boost our attack. I think this is a better thwart booster. So I'm assuming we're just going to thwart these away, throw these away, and find better setup cards. And I'm not going to keep this. Alter Ego action, we could take 2 threat off of this. That's the same as if we thwart, if we play Organic Webbing. This will bring us down to 2 threat. And if you clear this, we can tuck 2 cards because you can tuck this in another card. I'll try it, but I don't believe in it. So we're getting rid of these. Warrior of the Great Web. So this is a card we can attach to ourselves. This is a bit of a patch, so you can make original core set Spider-Man and Web Warrior. There's Spider-Man. Hard to play. Ghost Spider. Still hard to play. Find us a double. Ready for a fight. That feels awkward. How do we deal with this? Okay. So let's talk about our priorities here. We have no cards underneath us. If we want to play Spider-Man, we have to get rid of 3 cards. So we could get rid of 1, 2, 3, and then we can't play Organic Webbing. I think Organic Webbing is the most important card in our hand because this gives us a ready, it gives us +1 thwart, all that stuff lines up pretty well. So this has to get played. I think Warrior of the Great Web is not super necessary. I think there's just no way we play Spider-Man. It's too expensive. So we'll probably play 1, 2 for this. That means we can play Get the Scoop and play Warrior, and that's probably it. And we play no allies. We have so many allies. I think that's okay. But Warrior of the Great Web gives us +1 attack sometimes after allies leave play. I think that's okay. So I'll pitch 2 for Organic Webbing. This gives us +1 thwart. And it also gives us ability to ready by discarding a card underneath us, which we don't have yet, but that's a good reason to... Oh, actually, we can't secure the landing pad. We can never tuck underneath us because it flips when it's defeated, so it doesn't go to the discard pile because the backside will actually keep it. We'll put Get the Scoop into play. Comes in with 4 threat. I think we'll do it. We'll exhaust our identity to remove 2 threat from here. There's not that much else we're doing here, so we'll just get rid of 2. The other option is instead we could have considered playing Ready for a Fight and stayed Alter Ego. Is the plan to make a silly Web Warrior because you can't put it on Silk? Is the plan to make an ally Web Warrior? Wait, you can't put it on Silk? Oh, Piss. Good catch. I didn't even consider it. You cannot put this on Silk because her name doesn't have Spider in its title. This shouldn't be in the deck. I thought this was just like an easy slam dunk that you can attach to every web warrior, but no, it actually has more meaningful text. We should cut this from the deck. So instead, I'll just play ready for a fight and we'll discard that. Good catch. So we'll play ready for a fight. This has a physical, it's a wild. So now we're ready. So we could actually stay down here for another turn. All that does is gives us +1 hand size. So not super useful. So I think we'll use it on a later turn. Our activation next turn, we can block, then come down and then do the get the scoop and then clear the get the scoop and then we can jump up again. So we'll go to Silk and we'll just pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't like it. At least we have team building exercise. Quick switcher for downtime or endurance. I haven't played those cards in a while, but they're very easy cards to play for a 1-cost upgrade that you can happily set up on turn 1. Those used to be very much staples. I feel like the more I played, the less I played those cards because the card pool just got a bit bigger, but they're not bad at all. I like the one that gives you more health more than the one that gives you more recovery. This goes to 2. Ebony Maw will attack for 2 and a card, and Ebony Maw's text says when Ebony Maw activates. So each, yeah, when Ebony Maw activates. So this happens now. So this goes to 3, this goes to 2. And Ebony Maw is attacking for 2 and a card. We thwart for 2, we attack for 2, we block for 3. 2 and a card could be up to 5 damage, of course. We really want our blocking card. That's so good because it gets you cards. The blocking one with the pitchfork on it is so good because it gives you cards. Cards are a good resource. I guess we'll block. Thwarting 2 will clear this anyways with our alter ego. Oh, we have to exhaust our identity. Never mind. So unless we reveal treachery, if we reveal a minion, we can web kick it. Silk kick it, excuse me. So blocking for 3? No, I don't think we block for 3. Evil Alliance, okay. So this just has a boost that puts 1 here, so we only take 2 damage. Glad we didn't block. Can't tuck it. We'll probably tuck this card. Never mind. It has Surge, so this is more damage. Rebel Storm comes in with 3 counters. After the last is removed, deal 2 damage to each character you control. This is really bad that this syncs up with this, because once both of these pop, we're going to take 6 damage, because this is 4, this is 2. Ooh, manipulation. This is the confusion one. I think you discard a card from your hand as well. Yeah, random card confused. Okay. We're really incentivized for Ebony Maw not to activate anymore. Dark Designs. Okay. So we could let this confuse go through, or we could take the attack. We're going to get the confuse. Ebony Maw is going to scheme for 2 and a card. We might advance. That adds another card here. This is actually really quite bad. We could take an attack instead and block. That might be better. It honestly might be better. If we advance the next one, it's not good for us. I can't believe we drew hands that did nothing. And this is just a nightmare. Like, all these are going to go down no matter what. We'll just get the scheme. 1, 2. Good. 1 boost. Give the villain a tough status card. Black Red Infantry. So that's only this to 4. But first, we were meant to remove all of these by 1. So 1, 1, 2, 2. Don't take that down, of course. And that's us. Okay, so in next turn, we'll be stunned and confused. We have to exhaust each upgrade we control. And then in a couple turns, we have Fireball Rebel Storm. We are not that hurt. So we want to clear this. And if we clear this, we tuck 2 cards, which means when we jump down, we can draw cards, let alone we can ready ourselves. The problem is this hand doesn't do anything. We might actually get away with playing J. Jonah here, because J. Jonah can do the scoop. And actually, J. Jonah is probably the way that the scoop makes sense. Yeah, I'm realizing this. J. Jonah is really good because you can get the scoop and just J. Jonah works on the scoop, not us. And then we clear get the scoop. The problem is J. Jonah is a support. And so if our support clears get the scoop, we get the scoop text, but we can't tuck it because after you defeat a minion, you is us, our upgrades, and I think our allies. It's not our supports. In fact, it might not be our allies. It's probably not our allies. It's us or our upgrades. And our events, of course. So if J. Jonasim clears the scoop, we don't actually tuck it, which is like maybe cool thematic, but also not the best. The problem is if we play J. Jonah here, that's all our hand. All of these cards cost 2 or 3, so we can only play one of them no matter how we slice it, unless we hop down and then draw a couple cards. So it's probably best that we play J. Jonah. Okay, we can play J. Jonah, clear Get the Scoop with Silk. That'll tuck 2 cards, Get the Scoop and the next card. J. Jonah can work on the landing pad. Then we flip down, draw 2 cards. And then with those 2 cards, we probably want to play Team Building Exercise because we need resource generators because we're really far behind on the board. When Ebony Maw attacks, we'll do a Ready for a Fight. I think that's probably the line. Or if we need more cards underneath us, we could do Albert Moon instead of Team Building Exercise. But I forget how many Web Warriors we put in the deck, and we've only seen 2 so far. So it's very likely that we'll get more value from Team Building Exercise. So do we have to commit to any of those things first? No, we don't. We don't actually have to commit to any of that first. We'll just thwart for 2. We'll clear Get the Scoop. So Get the Scoop says, when defeated, the Cindy Moon player looks at the top 2 cards of the deck, tucks 1. Well, we shuffled, right? We did shuffle. How do we draw this many spells in a row? So we can tuck one of these cards, and the other one just goes on top of the deck, which will be, we know that Ebony Maw will attack for 4, because it'll be a boost card. Okay. Panic shuffling, it's fine, it's healthy. So we'll not take the damage one. So we'll tuck that underneath us, and then we cleared this, so we'll tuck this underneath us. Manipulated Mind's on the top of the deck. We, in theory, could draw it. You can't tuck Scoop. It does go to the counter deck. Oh, Mike, you're right. Because this goes into the bin. This card is getting worse and worse. I really don't like this card. Can you do that in Hero since you need to be in Cindy Moon? Holy crap, we're doing everything wrong. This card is awful. Now, we could have just flipped down and exhausted, but the only way we can clear this is the Cindy Moon player. We're only the Cindy Moon player when we're Cindy Moon, right? Because that actually, I think I don't fully understand all the time. What is the card that tucks Limbo? What is Belasco's side scheme called? Because that card says, give it to the Ileana player. And I think we're still the Cindy Moon player. Mike and Poetic, I don't know if I've said hi. What is the card that comes? Hold on, I need to look it up. But this shows up before. Because one of the cards says, give this to the Ileana player. Like, don't obligations say that? Like, Darkchild says, give to the Ileana Rasputin player. So I think we're still the Cindy Moon player. Because otherwise your obligation wouldn't do anything. Do all obligations work like that? Yeah, I think we're still the Cindy Moon player, right? Because I think every obligation is worded like that. And if you're in Hero, your obligation still works. So I think we're still considered the Cindy Moon player. Strange how that is, though. What's another obligation? What's our obligation called? I don't actually know. Our obligation says, give to the Cindy Moon player. Yeah, so I'm assuming it works. That's a good catch, though. I do think we can't tuck it, though, because it does not enter the discard pile. So this is still on top. Anyways, so Silk's ability, more importantly, says, after you defeat a minion or side scheme or resolve a treachery card, tuck that card underneath here from the encounter discard pile. It doesn't go to the encounter discard pile. I don't think I like this card at all. I think that was a bad thing to play on turn 1. So we just have a Rubble Storm. Who cares? I do not care. All right, we'll flip down. We'll discard the Rubble Storm to Cindy Moon's text to draw 2 cards. Spider UK and Across the Spider-Verse. Across the Spider-Verse can help us here. So what do we need to do? We're going to flip up the block. So Across the Spider-Verse costs 2. J. Jonah could come in and start dealing with Secure the Landing Pad, which is fine. But again, then we don't defeat it. J. Jonah does. And again, Silk says, after you defeat. That's also ugly. We could play... Oh, wait. We can set up Spider-Verse to play investigative journalism. That's actually good. So we'll pitch J. Jonah and Spider UK. Oh, we don't have a Web Warrior. Oh, we drew that on the wrong side. Hold on. So this is also not good because Across the Spider-Verse forces you to, as a cost, exhaust a Web Warrior, and we don't have a Web Warrior. So if we wanted to do the play where we across the universe for Spider-Man and then we set up an investigative journalism, we can't do that because we don't have a Web Warrior card. Are any of our upgrades Web Warriors? No, that'd be weird, right? So I guess we can play Spider UK and then hold on to the journalism. So if we play Spider UK, we have to hold on to these two. That cost 1, 2, 3. What we're doing here is nonsense, but we want our combo to fire. So that's not Peter Parker. This is Spider UK. This can't be the play. After defense and attack, deal damage to the attacking enemy. It's like not good to play into this, enemies into this, or allies into this, because they're going to get hurt in a bit, but at least this gives us a panic block. I think it's more responsible to I think it's much more responsible to just build our board state and not do the combo. So we'll play team building exercise. We can't use this because it's a hero ability, but we at least have that. This has been a bad start. We'll pass. Yeah, we'll pass. Here we go. 1, 2. We have no tech cards. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, wall crawl can help as much as we have no cards. This goes to 5. Ebony Maw would scheme for 4, but here we'll do ready for fight. Ready for a fight says, when an enemy would scheme, discard this. So this actually happens before the boost card, but that doesn't matter. Change to your hero form. Huzzah. And then that enemy attacks you instead. So we're being attacked for 4. If we block, we take 1 damage. If we don't block, we can do some scheming. And I think we'd actually probably not want to block here. I think we're just going to take 4 damage. This goes down, this goes down, this goes down, this goes down. So bad things happen to us. We have pacification. Pacification says after the last, exhaust each upgrade you control. Ooh. You are stunned. Great. And then manipulation, I think we have to rip a card and get confused. Manipulation says, discard a card at hand. You're confused. So I'm glad that we didn't hold on to our combo, because we obviously would have lost our combo and have been upset about it. So 6 cards. 1 will be on the left. 3. We lose Dr. Sinclair. Not the worst. That's that. We'll slide these down. Hopefully we don't get another activation, because if we get another activation, we die. Actually, yeah, we flat out die if we get another activation, because the fireball goes off. Oh, we die. That was awful. That felt terrible. But Silk didn't do anything. Maybe we should have just played, maybe we shouldn't have thrown out our smooth as Silk, but like, that was terrible. I think this deck has too many allies, and it's not good. We just couldn't do anything. Yeah, so what happens is Ebony Maw attacks us. If we block it, that's fine. But the problem is the fireball goes off first, and the fireball just says take 4 damage. We'll run it back. Ouch. That was awful. Okay, so we're definitely going to take out that 1 card that doesn't have any synergy with our deck. So we'll take out a copy of Warrior of the Great Web. And in its place, we'll just play a cheap tech card. We'll play an energy. Must depart. Good luck. Have fun. You got this. Thank you, Donovan. We're going to run it back for sure. That was abysmal. Silk did nothing. Thanks for dropping by. After a quick look at the MC rules reference, I can't find anything that supports the idea of using cards to defeat doesn't trigger Silk. So look under the definition of U. In fact, let's do it together because it's always a fun little stunt. So the U section in this is like always really weird. So U is on page 44. Oh. Mock speed. Shout out to your streaming bitrate. RIP. So U is you and your. When resolving abilities, the word you can be resolved as referring to a player's identity. It must be resolved as such. So if a card deals damage to you, if a card's ability takes indirect, if a card exhausts you, if a card ability status card's on you, if a card ability triggers from a function that you perform, the player resolving the card ability must resolve the card's ability as if the identity they control performed that function, if able. For example, if an ability says after you attack. For abilities that target after enemy attacks you, when resolving card abilities, if the world you cannot be resolved as referring to the player's identity, it must be resolved. Yeah, where is this? If a game step or card ability discard cards from your hand, okay, if a game researches your deck. If a game step or card ability performs a game function against a non-identity card you, if card ability from a game function that you perform and cannot be interpreted in such a way, some player cards are considered to be, this is the section, excuse me, this is exactly it. Some player cards are considered to be an extension of a player's identity. When an action and or ability resolved on a card type that is an extension of an identity, that action or ability is considered to be performed by the identity. So it says that events resources and upgrades are an extension of you because they are the hero's thing. However, cards that are not considered to be an extension of a player are allies and supports, which means J. Jonah Jameson is not us. It is a guy we know who's our friend, but if we did an event or we have an upgrade, that is us doing it. So that is the reason why you does not work when upgrades are, sorry, with allies and supports. So when Silk needs to do things, oh, I typed into the wrong window. Oh, sorry. Well, anyways, we read it, but that is the reason why Gilhar. That is one that comes up a bit. You is a bit of a meme in this game because it's been so well defined in different ways, and it's always the thing that you look up. What does it mean when we get attacked? What about if we block with an ally? Do you take damage? I think it's part of the game that frustrates people, but it's fine. Holy crap, that went bad. All right, we'll recover to 10. Ebony Maw's at the perfect shiny 18. Barely noticed that we showed up. This is at 1. This is still at 3, and we'll bring all these cards back. Did we not recover? Oh, I didn't have the window open, excuse me. So this should be that. All right, we'll send it back. This one will go better for sure. So we have to discard cards for a spell and then shuffle back. And then we have to do it again. So once for Attack on Nowhere, once for Ebony Maw. So the first one we'll shuffle back. Pacification. So this is the exhaust each upgrade you support. You are stunned. So that comes in with 3 counters. Then we shuffle and then we do Ebony Maws. I think it refers to performing an action. The whole section refers to attack thwart. Silk says when you defeat, not when you attack thwart and defeat. I think it's the same text. So this is after you defeat a minion or side scheme. There's a lot of text like this in the game. So for instance, what is the card, the 0 cost justice card that says when you defeat a side scheme? That doesn't work when your allies do it because you did not defeat it. I think it's a similar ruling to that. Skilled investigator? Is that the text of this card? No, this one's different. It says after a side scheme is defeated. Okay. Soldier? What is the one? But there's a bunch of cards of this that say like when you do something, and if you do not do it with an attack, an event, or an upgrade, it doesn't count. So I'm assuming that doesn't work for Silk. Sorry, I paged through the thing in the rulebook, so it's going to take me a second to pull it up. But again, if it says when you do it, you need to be doing it. Otherwise, it would say after a card you control defeats a minion or side scheme. So Hall of Heroes. I was surprised to find out that Hall of Heroes does not put all the FAQs together. They separate them by time. Triggered ability too? So right? Yeah. Yeah, we're not doing it. Someone else is doing it. Not super intuitive though. This doesn't get shuffled back, so we have a manipulation and pacification. So those are synced. Oh no, they're not synced. This is 2. This one will happen faster. This is discard a card, you are confused. This is you are stunned, exhaust each upgrade. This Dark Designs is in the bin. That's always good to know. And we'll try it again. Yeah, there's definitely examples of other cards that say that when you do something, get a benefit. And I know those don't work like that. Mr. Sinister took 15 minutes. We are so back. Yeah. How many upgrades did you attach to Mr. Sinister? It's a bit of a fight to keep Mr. Sinister on without getting too many upgrades, especially when you play solo. I think the sum of the wording on Mr. Sinister does not favor solo play because a lot of the extra threat you add to the main scheme does not scale to player count the way that it feels like statuses attached to Mr. Sinister. I know the first time I played it, I'm going to see if you messed this up too, but Mr. Sinister says, after a status card is placed on Mr. Sinister, place 2 threat on the main scheme. Firstly, did you remember that? And second, did you remember that when Mr. Sinister gives Mr. Sinister a toughness? Oh, meant to Hall of Heroes as an example. Oh yeah, huge. It says after you defeat a minion. Yeah, so your allies can't do it, your supports can't do it, you have to do it, your events have to do it, your upgrades have to do it. Yeah, that's a great example. But you're right, Garrett. I always go to Hall of Heroes for my my rules questions if I can't find it immediately in the rule book. Yeah, Mr. Sinister, if you're playing a stun or confused deck, is really rough because all the stuns and confused put threat. It only came up when I teleport dropped him twice. Okay, cool, yeah. You wish you could like not do the stun, but you have to. Great sight though. Yeah, I like Hall of Heroes a lot. All right, let's give it another shot. This will be better, right? Ready for a fight? We can keep that. Not bad. Spider-Man, hard to keep. We'll put in the maybe camp, but we need a lot of resources, and I think we have better things to set up. Spider Claws, this is the damage one. I don't think I really want this that early. I don't think scaling our damage is important. We need cards underneath us. Strength is always a keeper. Power of All of Us, that actually helps with Spider-Man, so we're more likely to keep Spider-Man. Because when you play power on all of us, you choose which resources so you can make it one of the two options that Spider-Man needs. Last card is Spider Reflexes. That's the best card in the deck, especially because blocking. So this means this does this, and then power on all of us plus another card does Spider-Man, and hopefully we draw the 0-cost card we put in our deck. Ooh. Ooh, that's good. This is a superpower. This is such a better hand. Okay, it's too good. It's actually kind of awkward. I don't think we can play all of these cards. Let's do the math. But so if we have to like, the problem is now all our cards are cards we want to play in doubles. So I think we have an issue here because playing Deft Focus doesn't save anything on super reflexes. So we might not play Deft Focus. We probably should. But if we play Strength for this, then it's a double for, that stinks. So that actually is a bit awkward. So we probably have to just play this and then we play that and we hold Deft Focus for a turn. You got the attachment that ignored Retaliate. Bit rough, but still delayed the game. Oh yeah, Retaliate's a lot of damage. Oh yeah, Float like a Butterfly. No, but Float like a Butterfly. Oh yeah, how it works for allies. Because Float like a Butterfly is worded that your cards you control. Yeah, what a character you control. So that'll be us and our allies. Not supports, not upgrades. So this one's like somewhere in the middle. This is okay. It could be worse. Definitely could be worse. But I think we're going to keep Deft Focus in our hand. So we're going to go ahead and play our Spider Reflexes. This is such an important card because it's one of the few cards that consistently gets you cards underneath you. We opened with this in our first game and we felt good. And when we don't have it, I imagine we don't feel good. So that's that. We'll then do Power in All of Us, generating a mental and a strength. We'll then do another Power in All of Us, doing an energy and who cares, to play Spider-Man. Oh God, I have to figure a better way to sort this. There's too many Spider-Man. This one comes in with 3 health and it readies us. Our basic activation here is not that good. If this card was our side scheme, we'd play it. I'm going to hold on to Depth Focus because it actually is really good, and we'll flip up with Cindy into Silk. So we can secure the landing pad to get Cosmo down as soon as possible. I think that's okay. There's not that much we want to do here besides damage. So we'll thwart for 1 into secure the landing pad. Spider-Man will thwart for 2. And Spider-Man will clear this, which readies us. Secure the landing pad says when you defeat this, flip it over. So unfortunately, we can't grab it. And the back of is Cosmo. I think Cosmo is either the best space boy or a best space girl, depending on what line you're reading. I think this changes a lot. So this is not basic Cosmo. This is campaign Cosmo. Super straightforward. Does not count against an ally limit. And when Cosmo is defeated, Cosmo just leaves play. So you don't have to worry about the implications of the space dog being crushed. We don't really need to use Cosmo here. I'll attack for 2. I guess we could use Cosmo for 2, but I feel like using Cosmo's activation for 2 is rather thwart for 2. I'd rather use this if a minion shows up. I'm not really good at just using allies for tempo. Oh my God, I'm zoomed in the whole time. Camera's a little zoomed. Miso, not you. Good catch. Yeah, huge. Just totally in our tank there. Yeah, okay, perfect. So the board state is just as it was, but we got rid of this thing here. I'll hold on to Deft Focus and we'll pass. We're going to be blocking for sure. 1, 2, Swinging Silk Kick, Spider Bite. We have no techs. Might not be the best card for the deck. Got a tech. Never mind, it's sick. Madame Web. Okay, too many allies. No superpowers besides the Swinging Silk Kick, so Deft Focus is looking a bit ugly. I feel like our deck is trying to do too many things. We probably should just either focus on the tech package or give up on the tech package, and we're trying both. This goes to 2. Ebony Maw is attacking for 2 in a card. This goes down. This goes down. We will block with Spider Reflexes. So we get +1 defense. Just kidding. We just still block for 3, but we'll be able to capture this card, and it's 4 damage. So we take 1. And then we take the top card of the discard pile, which is Landing Craft, which is an Armies of Titan card. That's that. Counter card. Agent of Thanos. No, not you. Nice try. Agent of Thanos. Deal 1 damage to your hero for each spell environment in play. Okay. If you take no damage, this card gains Surge, and we can tuck this underneath us, so we now have our first Ebony Maw card. Not too bad. That's what we want to be doing. We want to be firing our ability, and having cards underneath us should be obvious why that's pretty good. Okay, so we have 2 allies. Setting up Deft Focus is fine. Spider Bite we could play by just attaching Energy Shield to us. That's not great. We play Spider Bite for 2. We can't play Deft Focus. We have 5 cards. If we want to flip down, we can. This has a really low limit, though. And next turn, we're going to have to discard a card and get confused, which is fine. This, I think Cosmo will do Attack on Nowhere. We probably could afford flipping down because this will be a 1. Then Ebony Maw can't get it to 6. No, you can with a 3 boost. Math is hard. I think we want to stay up for a bit for Spider Reflexes, but jumping down and drawing cards is like super, super tempting with Silk. So the other options we can play Def Focus for that, and then yeah, we just can't play this hand. We have too many 3-cost cards and not any resource generators here. That's bad. So the only efficient line here is to play a 3-coster and play Energy Shield and throw out Def Focus. Do we want to just Swinging Silk Kick for 7? In theory, we could like Def Focus and then use Def Focus to play Swinging Silk Kick. That's probably fine. It's not like Silk Kick. It's not like Spider Bite or Madame Web is that good. Yeah, and I think we just need to push damage. So we'll play Def Focus for 1. We can exhaust this to generate a resource for a superpower, and all our upgrades are superpowers, I think. And the Silk Kick definitely is. So we'll spend 2 for Swinging Silk Kick. This is 7 damage. We could get rid of our Thanos card to make it 9 damage. Or sorry, our Ebony Maw card to make it 9 damage. I don't think we will. I think 7 damage is enough, and I'd rather keep this card underneath us because it buffs our block. So this is going to just be 7 damage. Cosmo for 2. Wheel attack for 2. We're exhausted. So we can use Spider-Man for 2. We haven't drawn into our... I kind of want to keep Spider-Man around for a bit because we haven't drawn into our team up, which would be kind of nice to flip down and then stay down for a turn and a half. So I will do 1 damage to Spider-Man, who will attack for 2. That'll ready us so that we can attack for 2. All right, Ebony Maw's on 5. Seems good. We'll pass. Draw up to 5. Smooth as Silk. We could play that. Get the Scoop. Team Building. Not bad. Outwit. Okay. Organic Webbing. That's really good. Oh, I keep trying to flip the top of the deck. Playing way too much Magic. And this will be on 1. Ebony Maw will attack. So these go off. So first we do Manipulation. Nope. Yep. So it says, after discard a card or random from your hand, you are confused. So 1 on left. We lose Organic Webbing. No, probably the best card in our hand. And now we're being attacked for 2 and a card. I'm going to go ahead and block using Spider Reflexes. So we're blocking for 4 because we have an Ebony Maw card. So 1, 2, 3, 4, it's Exhaustion. We'll put that underneath us using Super Reflex or Spider Reflexes and take no damage. Man, we should have Retaliate. My favorite trait. Top card is another Agent Thanos. So we just take 1 damage from that. That's perfect. And then we can tuck it underneath us. It's a real shame that we lost this because this is the best card, especially because we could get the cheap ready this turn. So this says deal 1 damage for each spell environment. Not that bad. That would have been awful in the last game, and we'll tuck that underneath us. We have 4 cards, so we want to get this out of here. I'll just put this sideways so we can see it's an Armies of Titan card. Okay, back to us. Not a lot going on here. We are confused. We could Smooth as Silk, but there's not a real point. We have things underneath us. But we're kind of in a holding pattern here really awkwardly. We're going to be stunned and exhaust each upgrade we control, which means that we can't Spider Reflexes next turn. Having +1 thwart doesn't seem super useful, so I think I'm just going to play Team Building Exercise. We have a lot of Web Warriors. This card's not perfect for the deck. If you're playing a lot of allies, this is really good, but it's exhausts, and so the card matches a trait, and the only trait that I think we can get a match on is Web Warrior, so that'll be for our allies. I know we'll just play Get the Scoop, whatever. I mean, it's there. We lost the worst card, for sure. So we want to clear Get the Scoop. I think Cosmo could do a bit of work here. And we have to clear the last 2 to get the Scoop, which is not a super big priority. I think that's it. We'll pass. We won't use Spider-Man. We're trying to find our Think Genius. There's Across the Spider-Verse. So we actually can use Spider-Man and bring it back, but we have to have another Web Warrior. J. Jonah's here. Dr. Sinclair is here. Swinging Silk Kick. These hands are really expensive. Like, we have a bit of cost reduction, but this hand is very hard to play more than 1 card. And we even drew a double. Like, if we drew a double, I think we'll probably keep Spider-Man around and play a different Web Warrior. And then maybe we'll just play Dr. Sinclair. But yeah, it's getting expensive out there. This goes to 2. Ebony Maw attacks. So pacification happens. So it says, exhaust each upgrade you control. And this happens first. So we can't do Spider Reflexes anymore, which is a bit of a bummer. That would give us +2 block. And then you are stunned. So every status effect has hit us. Ebony Maw is attacking for 2 and a card. We'll still block for 3. Boost icon, nowhere is safe. That just adds 1 here. So that's only 2 damage. We take nothing. Counter card. Evil Alliance. Uh-oh, that's not good. So perfectly we hit 4. So we go get our Nemesis set. Add something else to the mix. Where did I put the Nemesis at? Moreland? You always want to know where Moreland is at all times. Found it. All right, so the order of this is important. We could tuck Evil Alliance underneath us. I think... What will this change? Tucking this underneath us just takes out a rotation, which I'm not too concerned about. Was I zoomed in that whole time again? Damn it! Okay, that's fine. Tucking this underneath us gives us a standard card. Standard cards don't matter because we don't need to have plus attack. This just keeps it out of rotations, but I don't think we'll pin that underneath us, discarding one of these cards. So we have Moreland. Moreland comes in with 5 health, gets +1 scheme and attack for each encounter card tucked underneath each identity. Unfortunately, because we're fully tucked, this is going to come in with a lot of threat. The Great Hunt. The Great Hunt comes into play. It says, when revealed, place threat here for each card tucked underneath you. So it's the worst it can be on 6. And we shuffle 3 of these annoying Hunting the Spider Bride into the deck, which is still pretty healthy. We did get our Nemesis pretty quickly. So we need to defeat Moreland. I'm pretty sure we'll just kick Moreland. But we have to get rid of the Great Hunt. You need the rumble strips for being zoomed in. Honestly, Ken, I would be really happy with it. I actually think I need to just have a light that's on when we're zoomed in. And then hope that I don't forget that that's what the light does. But there are ways to set it up that I can have another window that just has a bright light when we're zoomed in. I also should just be making better eye contact, but slowly we'll get there. I think I'm like too plugged into trying to figure out what Silk does. Okay. So this is us. J. Jonah Jameson can work on the Great Hunt. Get the Scoop will allow us to look at cards and tuck cards, which we don't need to do that, but we have a lot of work to do today. The problem is actually we're stunned, so we can't really Silk kick Moreland. And Moreland schemes and attacks for like 300? For 4? Wait, how did this get so bad? This got really bad. Uh-oh. So if we could ready ourselves with Spider-Man, but if Spider-Man's defeated, we can't play the Across the Spider-Verse unless we exhaust ourselves, but then what's the point? So if we want to play Across the Spider-Verse, we can go search our discard pile for a Spider character and put it into play. We, in theory, could do it again. So we actually could play 2 Spider characters if we ready ourselves and exhaust Silk, but that's actually very hard. So what's the best Spider character we have for this situation? Madame Web is Thwart 2, so that doesn't clear the Great Hunt. Our options are only Madame Web and Spider Bite, which is pretty sad. Oh god, we're cooked. How are we this cooked? We can chump block Moreland, which we have to. I want to clear the Great Hunt, so we can't really clear the Great Hunt. We can clear the Great Hunt. We just need to use the help of J. Jonah Jameson. If we play J. Jonah can take 2. And then Cosmo can take 2. Spider-Man can take 2. Are we able to Silk kick? I don't think we can. So this is 1, 2. Say that we play Sinclair 3 for Jonah. Jonah clears this. Do we jump down to Alter Ego and just let the scheme go through? That's another option. And we can just hope that we draw into our team up, but if we use Spider-Man, that won't be the case. Okay, so none of these work with Jay, but swinging Silk Kick works with Deft Focus. The problem is we're 1 resource short. We have no way to generate 1 resource. Yeah, we have no way to generate 1 resource. We're 1 resource short. Because we could ready ourselves by using Spider-Man, be ready, attack to lose the stun, and then we could kick Moreland, which would have been pretty good. But we're short on that. Oofa doofa. What's the most expensive thing? I think there's a chance we can play very expensive allies if we have the Cross the Spider-Verse thing. But might as well, I guess, play Madame Web then. Because Madame Web means that we'll have a bad boost card. We can block Moreland, but we have to use both our allies to defeat the Great Hunt. So Moreland will 1v1 us, which is not a good fight. We can't even clear cards underneath us. Like, we just want to get cards underneath us away. So we could jump down to decrease Moreland. Oh, God. This is why I also don't like cards like this. Like, they don't do much on the board. This card's frustrating. Other options we can do that. Yeah, we could ready ourselves with Spider-Man, take 2 of this. Then we can attack. Take the stun off. We def focus for the swinging Silk Kick. Spider-Man's defeated. We're exhausted, so we can't Across the Spider-Verse. So the only thing we can play is Dr. Sinclair. Not great. None of these are Web Warrior cards. What's the back of Silk? Genius. Also doesn't work. Shit. So say that we just cleared Great Hunt. We have no minions. We have no allies, excuse me. We have Moreland. Moreland will be attacking for 4. Ebony Maw will be attacking for 2. I think we have to flip down. I think we just flip down. This will go to 3. Ebony Maw will clear it 4-5. And then Moreland will just put on the next one. And the next one probably has a higher threat threshold. I think that's all we have to do. Yeah, it has 9. So I think we flip down and let Moreland do nonsense. So if we're flipping down, we need to clear this at all costs. So the only way we do that is Cosmo for 2, J. Jonah for 2, Spider-Man for 2. We're ready. We can just take the token off, play Dr. Sinclair. Yeah, that's fine. Cosmo for 2. Cosmo's defeated, is removed from the game. Spider-Man for 2. Very importantly, Spider-Man's ability fires before Spider-Man's defeated, so we can ready another Web Warrior. Defeated. So actually here we could consider doing Across the Spider-Verse to bring back Spider-Man. Wait, that's better. Wait, that's a much better line. Wait, that's a good line. Across the Spider-Verse. Oh no, because we still can't Silk Kick. No, we can. Wait, this is good. Across the Spider-Verse, exhaust a Web Warrior card you control. Search your discard pile for Web Warrior ally and put in play. Spider-Man's back. No, we can do this. This comes in for 3. Because now Spider-Man will attack. Sorry, will scheme, clearing the Great Hunt. So that's gone. That readies us. We'll attack. We're stunned. And then we can do Def Focus, Sinclair, J. Jonah Jameson swinging Silk Kick. That does 7 damage. Okay, I think we figured something out. Nice. Let's carry on. Not even a problem. Barely an inconvenience. Wall crawl. Swinging Silk Kick. Oh, we actually could have done overkill damage. Hold on. We could have got rid of an expert card and pinned the card underneath us from the side scheme, and then we did overkill damage to Ebony Maw. I think that is correct. So I will get rid of expert, because when we defeat the side scheme, we'll pin the side scheme, and then when we swinging Silk Kick to do 5 damage, we'll make it do 9 damage, discarding the Great Hunt, and so that will do 4 overkill to Ebony Maw. And then we'll have 3 cards underneath us, which is totally fine. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I know I'm zoomed in. 4, 5. SPDR is a pretty cool card. We have Wall Crawler for some threat, and I think we're okay. We're confused. This goes to 3. Ebony Maw has no spells, which is good, as attacking for 2 and a card. Well, Spider Reflexes, that's good that we got a slot. So we'll block for 3, 4, 5, because we have 2 Ebony Maw cards. We take no damage. It's a Hunt the Spider Bride. Oh, we have to tuck this. We keep getting caught by this one. You didn't defeat the Spider scheme, Peter did? Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Peter did it, not us. Okay, so we'll undo the 4 damage. This actually has implications. Hold on. So you're right. Peter did it. So the Great Hunt is not tucked. So we have our expert card tucked underneath. But the problem is we've revealed this and Spider Reflexes. I really hate this interaction. That's really annoying. So now Spider Reflexes takes the top card of the deck and puts it underneath us. And so this has to go here. Oh, so we can still decide to discard. It says tuck the top card of the counter deck underneath Silk. So we just tuck this, and now there's at least 4 cards underneath us, so we can choose which one to get rid of. Because it's not like where we fire the text where it's random. After you defeat a minion size game, if they're more than 4 tuck cards, discard all but 4. So I'm gonna get rid of whatever the expert card was. It wasn't standard. It was expert, I think. So this is underneath us. We can discard it to take 2 damage, but we're fine. Good catch. Restrained. Okay. Attach your identity. You cannot ready. Ooh, ugly. Spend and mental and a physical to discard this card. Okay. So we cannot ready. We need to get rid of this before Spider-Man does something cool. Silk Kick we don't really need. Oh, sorry. We should have healed the 4 overkill damage. Nice. Okay, we're holding on. We are holding on. So SPDR costs us 1. Scarlet Spider, we can start doing the cool thing, but we don't have the eidetic memory. This costs us 3. We have a superpower, so we can play Wall Crawl for free. We can clear all the threat, actually. We definitely will. So we need to get rid of this. We have to get rid of a mental. So it has to be SPDR, and we have to get rid of energy. So it has to be these 2. So we'll get rid of restrained. Spider-Man will just attack for 2, redding us. Will thwart for 1, clearing this. Shame. This hand's not that good. I guess we might actually draw 2 cards when we flip down. Then we'll use Deft Focus to do Wall Crawl. So we'll target the main scheme. So remove 2 threat from a scheme. So that clears get the scoop, which we did clear this. So it's after we clear get the scoop, it says the Cindy Moon players looks at the top 2 cards in the counter deck and tucks one of those cards under their identity. So we want to put a small boost on top so we'll know how hard Ebony Maw schemes because we'll jump down. That's actually really cool. So I'll grab... They're the same. I'll grab Blood to Spare. This goes on top, so it's 1 boost. We're not going to deck out. We have to discard one of these cards. We'll keep... I think we'll get rid of the Silk Nemesis card. Wasn't there a card that forces us to discard all the cards underneath us? Yeah, Moreland. So when defeated, discard each copy of Hunting the Spider Bride tucked underneath each identity. There was none at that point. Okay, I have to remember that because that is ugly when it comes back later. So we'll discard Hunting the Spider Bride so we take 2 damage. Okay, then Wall Crawl. We'll continue resolving. We'll discard a card from Ebony Maw. They're the same. To remove 2, 3 threat from this. We know Ebony Maw is going to scheme for 1, 2, 3, 4, so we can flip down. That's cool, which means we can draw cards. And I'm okay drawing cards because this hand is not... Actually, it is pretty playable. I don't think we're going to draw cards here. I think we're just going to flip down and play the Ready for Fight. And that means next turn we can start with 8 cards in hand. We'll flip down and we'll just play Ready for a Fight, which we can afford with a physical. And we'll pass. 1, 2. We have the eidetic memory. We threw out Kane. There's Otto and Ben. Energy's good. Ingenuity is really good. We're flipped down. We don't see the top of the deck. Okay. This goes to 1. Ebony Maw schemes for 3, so we go to 4. That felt powerful knowing what the top of the deck was. Next card is Sinister Strike. Okay, so this just got Surge. Something went wrong. So this puts 1 here and gets Surge, so 2 Sinister Strikes are out. No. Well, ready for action. This would scheme. So this places 1 pursuit counter here, and then Ebony Maw would scheme. Instead, we're going to flip up with Ready for a Fight, one of the new cards, and just say, no, we don't want to have this happen. It might not be the worst. We'd lose actually playing Ingenuity, but... actually, we do lose playing Ingenuity. What about if we just scheme out here? I think the backside just adds a spell. I think we actually do tactically let just go through. I don't think we care that much. If we're an alter ego side, we can play Ingenuity. We can draw 2 cards. It seems so much more important. So we'll just let this happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. We didn't get attacked. So this hits 9. So we advance. The Power Stone. When revealed, shuffle the counter deck back into the discard pile. Oh, that's weird. So Moreland's back in the mix. And all the Dark Designs are back in the mix. Actually, no, the one that's currently resolving isn't back in the mix. So that should still be out because that is currently resolving. Each player discards cards from the top of the counter deck until a spell environment is discarded and puts into play into the play area. Outrider, Black Dwarf, Ablation, Outrider, Nowhere Safe, Under Fire, Evil Alliance, Drawing Near, Exhaustion, Black Order Infantry, Dark Design, Sinister Strike, Channeling, Hunting the Spider, Channeling. Oh my god, Moreland. All the spells are in the deck. Please, somebody send help. Oh no, there's spells in here, I'm pretty sure. Oh god, please. Find one. Holy crap. Wait, there are no spells in here. They're environments, right? So I think we lost every Moreland card. That's kind of cool. Yikes. All right, so this is mostly spells, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There is 7 different spells in here out of like 11 cards. That is definitely some odds. We got Rebel Storm. This is the one that has 3 counters. After it's defeated, deal 2 damage to each character you control. So we want to make sure our allies don't line up poorly with that, especially if we're playing to chump block, which we usually don't do that. Okay, this is now discarded. This gets flipped. Starts with 1 threat and just says that the stage is completed, you lose the game. So not really big text on this one. 1 threat. All right, it's back to us. We got some cool stuff to do here. Cindy Moon. We can go get a card underneath us if we want to. Using, we can play our friend. Oh, we can't. I guess we could play Smooth as Silk. Smooth as Silk is interesting because we can definitely pin a spell with some consistency, and I feel like that's okay. It gives us +1 block, so we might actually Smooth as Silk here. But first we're going to discard a card. I'll get rid of Black Order. I don't think I care which one, and we'll draw 2 cards. So we drew into Spider UK, and we drew into Ghost Spider. All right. I am definitely going to play 2 for Ingenuity. This is a genuine resource generator, as much as of a certain type. I'm really was expecting this card to be reprinted with new art because we've seen 2 geniuses just released. Cindy Moon and Shuri are both geniuses. It's not that this art isn't great, but it's just the sort of card that I think more people want to have in their card pool. Okay, so we have 2 cards underneath her. We can get more. Eidetic Memory is a superpower we'll play this turn. We'll play a bunch of Web Warriors. Awkwardly, our hand is a bit expensive, so I think we can play 1 of each maybe. Do we have a tech? We don't have a tech. So Spider-Man is not going to do too much. We don't even have an upgrade that we want to exhaust. Ugly. Ugly. Definitely ugly. I think we're going to recover for 3 here. 1-7. Oh, we can ready Ingenuity. Actually, that's pretty fine. It's not a tech, but that's good enough. We'll flip up. I'll start by just playing Smooth as Silk, just so that we can play this once. This says, choose an enemy or scheme in play. We'll pick Ebony Maw. Discard cards until we get an Ebony Maw card. No? Uh-oh. Now there's more spells. No? Uh-oh. It's the deck is almost entirely spells now. Okay, it's Pacification. It's an Ebony Maw card. Tuck that card under Silk. I just don't think this is good enough for a single card in the deck. We'll use Def Focus to play the Eidetic Memory. This means that we can manipulate the cards that we draw. So that means we can make sure that the spell becomes a different spell. Swap those cards, reveal the card underneath it. So we can make it, instead of a spell, we can make it Agent of Thanos, which is deal 1 damage for each spell. We'll probably do that for sure, because this actually doesn't do anything. So that's a really good card to keep. We probably should have kept more of them underneath us. I think we needed to have 1 Thanos, or sorry, 1 Ebony Maw spell. Then I'm going to do Team Building Exercise to reduce the cost of the next Web Warrior, and Ingenuity to get a Wild. And then we'll play, or not a Wild, a Mental, to play Spider-Man. This is the Auto Octavius, I forget the name of this one, but this is like the really full of himself one. Solo, find it. And this one says, play only if you have a Web Warrior. We do. We control 2. After you play Spider-Man from your hand, ready and upgrade you control. So we can ready Ingenuity. And now we can play a 3-cost Spider. So Scarlet Spider is 5 damage. Spider UK, after it defends, attempts an attack, we can deal the damage back. Or we can play Ghost Spider, which says when Ghost Spider leaves play, search your deck for identity-specific event and add it to your hand. So that can be a web kick. I think I like Ghost Spider the most here. We have enough health. We have a lot of blockers. So we'll do Ingenuity and 2. That was a good turn for Ghost Spider. 3 health. After Ghost Spider leaves play, 2 health, mind you, on auto. This is where I'm not good at using allies. We're not going to deck out, but we probably should do something with them. Spider-Man, we'll just thwart for 1. We'll keep the Spider-Man around because we're guaranteed, I'm pretty sure, in the bottom 5, our investigative journalism is there. So we're going to keep Spider-Man for sure. And then we'll probably just Spider-Man. Next round, we'll flip down. Ghost Spider will attack for 2. And the villain's on 1 health, and we'll pass. Perfect grid. We'll draw 5. Wall Crawl. Small chance that we don't draw the thing that we want. This card, I thought we took this out of our deck. Wait, what card did we take out of our deck? This was the card we were meant to take out of the deck. Because this card's bad. I think we just forgot to put a card in, take a card out of our deck and we're playing 41. Unless I took the wrong card out of the deck. Did I pick? No, this is the other card. That's the one we want. 3, 4, 5. Okay, we didn't lose the 1 and 6 to not draw the investigative. So the last card is the stun gun. Yeah, I think we're playing a 41 card deck. All right, this goes to 1. Ebony Maw attacks for 2 in a card. Rebel Storm goes down. We will block with Spider Reflexes, so we're blocking for 5. 4, of course, it's a spell, so we take no damage. We actually do pin this. And now, Ebony Maw will reveal a card. It's Fireball. We don't want that. This is actually cool. So now we can use Eidetic Memory. When you reveal a card from the same encounter set as a card tucked underneath it, swap those cards. The card is tucked, so we'll swap it with Agent of Thanos. And instead of dealing 4 damage, we just do an Agent of Thanos. And Agent of Thanos says deal 1 damage for each spell environment in play. Kind of sick. Kind of really sick. And that's back to us. So we want to flip down. When a web warrior ally leaves play, we can draw a card. So if Spider-Man leaves play, we draw a card. The problem is we deck out. So we just need to pick the order. The issue is we need to keep Spider-Man for the scheme. So investigative journalism does something. So we can't just get rid of Spider-Man. Tuck Agent of Thanos. Oh my God. You can go infinite. Wait, what? Swap those cards. No, we can't tuck it. I don't think we have the capability. Reveal the card that's been tucked. No, this we can't tuck because we did not reveal it. Right, you can't eidetic infinitely. That'd be busted. After you defeat a minion or side scheme or resolve a treachery. We didn't resolve this treachery, so we don't have a way to tuck it, right? Unless I'm missing something. But if we could tuck that, that would be so busted. With Cindy's ability? You mean Silk's ability? Okay, yeah. We didn't reveal it. We replaced the revelation, so we never got to revealing it. So we can't just keep talking it forever. Otherwise, it would be, yeah, pretty busted. Okay, so we want to hold on to this. Albert Boone to heal 4 is fine. We could draw 2 cards. The problem is like the cycle's a bit awkward. So I think we'll just do some basic setup stuff. Ebony Maw's not going to activate. So we will... What happens when we defeat Ebony Maw? Ebony Maw 3 says... each player discards until a spell. That'll happen pretty quickly. And that's it. So I think we can do it. Ghost Spider will attack for 2. Defeating Ebony Maw. Ebony Maw 3. 23 health. That's actually a really big jump. Yeah, okay. Villain set 23. Each player discards cards until a spell. It's a manipulation. This is 2 counters, so it is unfortunately in sync. This is the discard a card. Get confused. Okay, not too bad. We have 23 health to deal with. We need to keep Spider-Man. If we defeat Spider-Man, we can. The text on the web says after Web Warrior ally leaves play. So Spider-Man will end in the bin and then we'll draw. I think that's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip down. We're going to deck our deck anyways. So we'll play the Web of Life and Destiny. Oh, actually, no. We have to play this for free before we flip down. So before we flip down, we'll play this for free. Because it's free if you're a Web Warrior. Of course. And then after Web Warrior ally leaves play, we can draw a card. Choose a player. This doesn't exhaust, which is kind of incredible. I think we're going to go ahead. I'm actually not going to play these cards first because I'm okay with them being in our hand before we cycle. This is a card that shouldn't have been in our deck. This card's not bad, but I want to cycle our deck first. So Spider-Man will now attack for 2. And then Spider-Man is defeated. Then, of course, Web of Life says, after a Web Warrior ally leaves play, choose a player. The player draws a card. So we draw this card, which decks us out. So we're probably drawing a spell. We have all these resources that we're not using. This is a hero action. This is a hero action, but it's okay. Eidetic Memory says to reveal it. Does it not? Hold on. Let me read it. Eidetic says, when you reveal a card from the same encounter set as a card tucked, exhaust Eidetic Memory, swap those cards, reveal the card that's been tucked instead. So you don't reveal the first card. You only reveal the second card, and that card is underneath here. Oh my God, wait. No, you're right. When you reveal a card from the same encounter set as a card tucked underneath your identity, exhaust Eidetic Memory. So it's like this, right? So swap those cards. And then we revealed Agent of Thanos. Yeah. We reveal this instead. Wait, that is mega messed up. You can just pin the same card infinitely? When you reveal a card from the same counter set as a card tucked underneath your identity, we did that. Swap those cards, reveal this one instead. So this was truly a revealed card. And then Silk's ability says, after you resolve a treachery card. Yeah, we resolved this one. That's so cursed that you could just constantly reveal the card that does nothing. Good catch. Yeah, you're right. We reveal it because we revealed this one, truly. Whoa. Reveal a card that has been tucked under Silk instead. Yeah, okay. I'm fine with that. It's a good catch. This is our hand. We'll play Albert Moon for 2. We waste a resource because we can't use the ingenuity. So I guess we'll hold on to the wall crawl. We can hold on to the stun gun too. It's like not super necessary. It gets it out of the deck, which is good. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll play Albert Moon. Exhaust Albert Moon. So we'll recover for 4. From Cindy Moon, yeah. I've been redeemed. Yeah, that's wild. I thought there's like no way that the interaction works like that. Because if you find a counter card that doesn't do anything, you just do that infinitely. Like, that doesn't seem healthy. And then we'll pass. We'll hold on to just investigative journalism for obvious reasons. 1, 2, swing silk kick, so that's a lot of damage. Outwit, power in all of us lines up with the journalism really well. We have an energy shield, which is our 41st card for some reason, and we have a Dr. Sinclair, which I'm not sure I like that card. Hey Chaz, how's it going? Cool to see you branching out. Have we decided on the game you'll be covering in the obligatory 5-minute tangent yet? You know what it is? It turns out it's Netrunner, which is like should have been the obvious thing. But if there's like Netrunner news or somebody in chat who also knows the other channel asks about Netrunner, our tangent is usually Netrunner here. I feel like we're less likely to do an Arkham tangent here than on Metropole Grid, but yeah, it's the Netrunner tangent time, which is really quite fun. Glad you could make it to this channel. I don't know if you play Marvel Champions, but this has been a lot of fun. All right, this goes to 2. Ebony Maw would activate, and this actually matters because we're going to stop the activation so we don't have to remove counters for better for worse. So we're going to play Power in All of Us for investigative journalism. This is the first alter ego based team up. When an enemy would scheme, don't, and then confuse the enemy. So that's 2 activations. We still have to do with 2 encounter cards. We have to remember we have ready for a fight, so we could have flipped up as well, which is kind of cool. Let's start seeing cards. We can't do his eidetic memory. Oh, we can. Wait, eidetic memory is not even a hero interrupt. The heck? So alter ego, place 1 threat on the main scheme for each spell environment in play. If you place no threat this way, it's gain surge. Fine. We can't tuck it. This will be a spell. Fireball. This sucks. This does not feel healthy. So then we'll eidetic memory, which is not a hero response. When you reveal a card from the same counter set as a card, swap those cards. We've revealed Agent of Thanos. Oh, but we can't tuck this one because that is at least a silk thing. So we'll put 2 more threat here. Just say no to Fireball. It's fine. It's funny that Arkham is the tangent game for Netrunner streams, not the other game you stream. Yeah, I know. But that's because I have a space for this now. It's like, oh, I'll just talk about Marvel to the Marvel folks on the Marvel channel. Netrunner tangent. I've been playing Jeff's poetry list and I've been having a lot of fun and success with it. Did Jeff publish a list? Publish a list? I didn't know Jeff published a list. I would love to watch Jeff play a bit more of poetry, but I think what I've heard from Jeff is that poetry was like fine in playtesting, and currently everyone's just like kind of smashing asses on the table. I just haven't seen a poetry list that has like an optimal strategy or like a focus strategy. All the poetry lists I've seen it just be like, put enough cards on the table, the runner won't run the right ones, and then one of them will do something, which is like kind of rough. Arkham channel time, it does exist. There's no content on it. It's called Velma's Diner. You can find it. It's back to us. We don't have to jump up anywhere, but we have a threat problem. We don't have a wall crawl for some reason. I thought we did. I guess we can get one with Ghost Spider. That draws a card. So we can do Albert Moon if we want to. I think we will because we're going to draw 2 cards. So we'll get rid of Fireball to draw 2 cards. Cindy Moon's sick. Scarlet Spider, nice. Spider UK, nice. All right, then what Albert Moon to just grab the top card. We know it's going to be a spell. Don't have to deal with that. That's good. We will flip up. We don't Dr. Sinclair here. Yeah, we'll just flip up. If we got our claws, we actually attack for a lot because we end up attacking for like 5. We have our outwit, which means we can thwart for 5. That's also pretty cool. We don't even have our best upgrades. So we actually could go get with Ghost Spider. We draw a card and we can search our deck for anything, I think. Identity specific card. Identity specific event and add to your hand. So that's good because it gives us something to do with depth focus. So I'm just going to pitch 1-2 for outwit. We might not need this. Actually, I think in hindsight, we definitely don't need this. This one's not a superpower. It's just you're clever. This is outwit. So swinging silk kick does a lot of damage. I think we just want to do a lot of damage. I actually don't think we play outwit. I think we just play Ghost Spider to go get a copy of our Because we want to use the cards underneath us so we're not sealing cards. But we're just going to attack for 2 with Ghost Spider. And then when Ghost Spider is defeated, we can search our deck, just our deck. So we'll go get the copy of Wall Crawl. We also draw a card with Web of Life and Destiny. We're going to do that in the other order. Just so we don't draw the Wall Crawl. So we'll draw the Wall Crawl, add it to our hand. Gotta get a move on so that I can be your primary Marvel Tangent channel, and then you'll have a trifecta. Yeah, it's the thing too, is like this channel seems to be a what's it called? A Marvel Champions stream. At some point, like maybe I'll just do a solo Arkham on this. The issue is like the quality that I want to do the streaming at to make this accessible is I need to grab all the Arkham cards so they can show up, you know, here. And I think I can do that. It just takes work to set up the whole rig and find all the cards because FFG doesn't release card scans anymore, and it makes content creation really rough. So you have to go to like, you know, other parties. We'll draw with a card. Energy, nice. Can we do 17 damage? I think we drew our claws. We might have been able to do 17 damage. So let's just do the damage first and then do the threat later. That seems fine. So we'll do energy. Def focus for superpower. We'll do swinging silk kick. We'll get rid of a card. So that does 9 damage. With overkill, take that. We're on 10. We have 6 damage, so we just need to find 4 damage in our hand. Which means we shouldn't have grabbed a Wall Crawl. We'll go grab another swinging silk kick instead, because we can win. I didn't realize how much damage we have. Yeah, we'll use Ghost Spider to grab another kick. I might have a bunch of the card scans if you want them. I've been working on a podcast playthrough of Night of the Zealot. Oh, cool. I think I would grab them from like Arkham.build. I think they have like really good quality scans. I'm not sure where they come from or where they source them. I wonder if there's some like, I wouldn't say legality issues, but like, do I owe it to someone if I just grab their cards? Like, I probably should ask. I don't know. There's no content portal. And like, huge shout out to Null Signal Games who has a content portal. If you're a content creator, here's all the cards. And it just helps a heck of a lot. I always wanted to ask, but never did it. Are those numbers dice bigger? They look huge on cam. Yeah, they're really, really big. So these are XL dice. These are common like D6s. I think they're probably 10 or 12 millimeter. I couldn't tell you off the bat. I'd have to measure them. But these are XL dice that only recently started being made by Burger Tokens, and they didn't ask for a plug or anything. But if you go to their channel or to their website, if you search Burger Tokens, they said if you want some free XL dice, we'll give them to any streamer or content creator because they look much better on camera and they don't require a shout out or anything. Obviously, they know what they're doing and they always get the shout out because people ask for the dice. But I got red and purple. I wish there was orange dice for this sort of thing, or yellow dice, but I like orange a lot better. And I wish also at some point, maybe I'll email them if this could go from 7 to 12 for bigger health things. But they've been sick. They really, really help. It makes these look kind of bad, but what can you do? Also finished the campaign. Strafe wasn't fun. Strafe is not fun. I think that's the weird thing about Next Evolution is that I don't think I've heard anyone who says Strafe is fun. Strafe is difficult. Strafe is interesting, arguably, but not fun. Which, like, that kind of sucks. All right, I guess we still win, right? So we're gonna attack for 2. We'll attack with Spider-Man, which readies us. We draw a card with Life of Web or Destiny. We drew that Wall Crawl back. Okay, great. We're ready. We'll attack for 2. And then we'll just web kick again. So yeah, we have it easily. We had a lot more damage in our hand too. Cool. We have good burst. The allies, we have too many of them. I think we have slightly too many of them. We're playing a couple of the green allies that don't actually make a lot of sense. I think we'd be better off playing some tech cards or some, I don't know what else, some resource cards. But like Spider Bite, it's not worth playing unless you're building around it, and we're not. We need more tech cards, that's for sure. I think the one that adds +5 health, Madame Web, is actually not bad. It's synergistic. This Kane idea is probably a bit more of a joke than it is good. But we do always want enough allies on the table so we can at least fire our like search the Great Web card to get Peter on the table, because Peter's really hard to play. Cool. Though making me draw more cards to pitch to defend was weird. Yeah, the fact that it actually constantly checks. So if you defend cards with your hand, that's really nice if you're playing defense with Nightcrawler, is that you have fewer cards in hand and then you take less damage. Also, maybe more 1 and 2 costers, less 3 and 4. Yeah, I think that's a big problem with playing all these 3-cost allies, is that you end up with hands, and this is a very important thing in Marvel Champions. If you don't have resource generators, and our kit doesn't naturally have resource generators, 3-cost cards are really hard to play. Because if you have a 5-cost hand, you know, the card +3, you leave left with 1 card. Good luck. So you probably want to make sure that you're always playing 1, 2, 1, 3 every turn, and you need a resource for that. Silk was way cooler than I thought. I do think the parts of the kit that stood out when we did our first look last week that didn't make sense still don't make sense. Like, I don't think the zero cost card is good. I wish it had more text on it. I wish it drew a card. I wish it did anything like that. If this drew a card, I'd be happy with it, because at least it's a cantrip that forces you to interact with the kit, which is cool. I feel like if you don't draw spider reflexes, that's such a different game, because then you really need that zero coster to get cards underneath you so you do something. This card is mega busted in certain scenarios, like just saying that we'll never draw a standard card, that you like, just don't lose to advance, or don't lose to dark designs, just keep a standard card underneath you. That's actually really interesting. And then you have a lot of burst damage. You really do. 3 web kicks is a lot of damage. And I think Depth Focus is definitely worth playing. The side scheme also, like, still not sold on it. J. Jonah Jameson, not sold on it unless it's a really specific encounter where there's a lot of side schemes, especially because the U clause seems very important for that interaction. But this is, I don't know. The other card that we saw like this, I don't know what it's called. Is it At the Mall or something? The one that came with, this one. This is also a card that I don't think is worth the time of day. Like, alter ego action, exhaust your identity to remove one threat. Threat cannot be removed from this any other way besides, like, I guess, Mall Cop or Beat Cop. Technically Mall Cop, and then you can go grab an item. The items are good. It's just like, yikes. I think there's a chance you can get the scoop better if you have cards in your deck that interact with inherently side schemes. So the new Wakanda ally Manifold can draw this. You can play ways to get threat off this that draw cards. Like, if you actually make side scheme clearing part of your shtick, which is mostly a justice thing, I could see that being a bit better. But yeah, I don't know. That's 4 threat to get a card underneath you on a 50-50. Like, no shot. All right. I think that's it for today. That is pretty cool. I definitely will get some gameplay up. I want to say again, we'll have another video on Monday, and then the final video in our Magic Protection playthrough will be on next Monday at, we generally put them out at like 10:15 in the morning Eastern, so you can look forward to that. The next one's pretty long, and the final one against Venom Goblin is the longest video we'll probably put up. And for that, I apologize. And I'll say we're going to go out of the way to put together faster videos and probably not do as many campaign runs. So we'll try and build a cool Silk deck and do some Silk one-offs and have some cool gameplay up on the channel so you can see what a Silk deck looks like. I think that's fun. It's mostly it. But again, video is already uploaded. That's coming on Monday morning. We'll be back next Friday at 2:30. If you want to take a second to leave a like on the VOD, that helps a heck of a lot. It really does. Just to get this channel out there. I'm not sharing it a lot. If you want to share it with a friend, that helps. Subscribe to the channel. Actually, subscribing to the channel is also a really big one. There's ads on this channel. I can't stop that. If we get to 500 subscriptions on the channel, I can at least monetize those ads. So the ads are still going to be there. At least it gives me a bit more money to invest into the channel and do stuff like that. Thanks so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to Friday afternoons all the time for stuff like this. And we'll be back on Monday with a video. Take care, y'all. We'll see you in the next one. Ciao.